following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
We are coming to you from Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio, as WGN Sports presents Chicago Cubs baseball. Tonight, it's Game 2 of a 4-game series here in Cincy as the Cubs look for their 8th win the last 9 times out. And great to have you with us, along with Bob Brenly. I'm Len Casper. Another hot night here in Cincinnati. Speaking of hot, the Cubs bats continue to be red hot. It was like home run derby last night in a big 9-4 win.
Yeah, you know, we're getting to that point in the season where the hitters are falling into a really nice rhythm. The guys that you expect to hit should be hitting by this time of year, and against a pitcher who looked like a wounded gazelle and a pack of lions last night, Brandon Clausen ended up throwing batting practice. Todd Walker with a couple of home runs, Derek Lee with 2 of his own. I mean, it was just professional hitters teeing off on a pitcher who was not at the top of his game last night.
Yeah, the Cubs went back-to-back actually twice last night, hit 5 home runs in all, and trail the Reds by just 1 home run in the National League. Aramis Ramirez continues to be hot, and Derek Lee already with 30 home runs on the year, leading the National League. And boy, again, this year, this team really has lived with the home run ball.
Well, there were stretches this season where that was not the case. They were able to manufacture some runs. They took advantage of every base runner they had. But this is a team that's built on power, and they showed that last night.
And you talk about the pitching, and for the Cubs, Mark Pryor, a guy who has pitched very well coming off the disabled list, and the starters have been terrific lately as well.
They really have. It kind of feeds, one guy feeds on the other. They see a good outing from the first starter in a series, as we saw from Jerome Williams last night. Mark Pryor taking the mound tonight. You see what he did against the Pirates last Thursday, and hopefully this start will lead into a good Kerry Wood start tomorrow, and it just snowballs downhill.
Luke Hudson has really struggled. In fact, this is his first start in almost 2 weeks. He's had a long layoff. Of course, the All-Star break last week, and a guy who missed some time early on with a shoulder problem.
Yeah, this is another one of those pitchers, and stop me if you've heard this before, but if the Cubs hitters are patient, he'll work himself into some real good hitters counts. He'll walk some batters, and hopefully the Cubs offense will be able to take advantage.
Well, when we come back, we're going to hear from the newest Chicago Cub, as Jim Hendry made an interesting trade swapping outfielders with the Cleveland Indians. That when we come back to Cincinnati.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play, play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and the Chicago Cubs. Comcast. Catch the Cubs home games on WGN and HDTV on Comcast. Call for a great offer. And by Southwest Airlines, non-stop service to 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Smooth from the first taste. Refreshing every single time. The great taste of Bud Light. The summer is calling, and so are the friends. Bud Light. Great taste for your great times.
Mr. Fogel, no denying your body's changed over the years. Did you ingest anything that helped create your new physique?
Yes. Usually a 6-inch turkey breast sub for lunch and a foot-long veggie delight for dinner.
What is this?
We're going to need more evidence.
What do you do when you've had the best vehicle in its class for the past 6 years? You go back to the drawing board. You make it more powerful, yet more fuel efficient. You give it enhanced safety features with run-flat tires. You make it more comfortable and more ingenious than ever before. Introducing the all-new Honda Odyssey. A great idea, made better.
The marriage was built to last.
You are so awesome.
But the house was built too small.
kind of awesome.
How long are we here?
For 1 year, sparks will fly.
This is not awesome.
I just want to make an omelet.
Oh, are you kidding me?
The drama will be real, but it won't save you any money on car insurance.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Why haven't you called Geico?
There's never been a better time to talk with your doctor about Ambien. Because now you can try Ambien free. Visit Ambien.com for details.
Welcome back to Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. We're getting set for Game 2 of this 4-game series. Mark Pryor against Luke Hudson. Well, the Cubs made a trade late last night as the Cubs sent outfielder Jason DuBois, who was at AAA Iowa, to the Cleveland Indians in exchange for 27-year-old outfielder Jody Garrett. He can play all 3 outfield spots. He's a left-handed hitter. In fact, he's from the Chicago area, had right knee surgery late last year, got off to a late start this year, but he is now a Chicago Cub. And earlier today, I asked him about his reaction to the trade.
Shock. I was totally shocked, but I started to think about it and just got real excited to be back home playing in Chicago. My friends and family, chance to go to Al's Beef, Mario's Lemonade. Man, it's going to be great.
Now, you grew up a Sox fan in Lombard, but I know your dad has been a Cubs fan for a long time, so I'm sure he's very excited.
He's real excited. You know, his dream for me is kind of to be playing for the Cubs in the World Series. So, you know, half of that dream has now been fulfilled, and I'm going to do my best to try to get the other half going. Chance to go to Wrigley Field every day and do my job is so ideal. You know, you can't even talk about it. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I've got a lot of friends at home that are very jealous that this is what I'm doing for a living. You know, I get paid to do this, and it's going to be awesome.
It's one of those moves. I think Jason DuBois probably a better American League style player. Jody Garrett brings some versatility. He's a good defensive player, and Dusty Baker will try to work him in. Yeah,
Jody Garrett finished 4th in the American League Rookie of the Year voting back in '03, and a guy that hits very well in the daytime, a .285 hitter in day games, and as we know, a lot of day games at Wrigley Field.
That's right. He is not in the starting lineup tonight. Dusty said he may try to get him in tomorrow night against the right-hander Aaron Harang. So we're set for baseball. We'll have the lineups and the first pitch from Cincinnati next.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly home run contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs.
Wow, someone ordered all that! I guess so. Is it heavy? This is one of the new notebooks, integrated wireless, and it's so light, it's crazy. So light, it's crazy.
Take delivery of an M320S for just $599.99 or get an M325X with Intel Centrino mobile technology, giving you the power of a desktop without the desk. Just $899.99 and get free shipping.
One part of this concept car is already on the road. Michelin MX tires. Chosen by more luxury car makers to enhance the performance of their cars. Michelin, a better way forward.
Should be another gorgeous night for baseball tonight here in Cincinnati. The Cubs have won 4 of the first 6 in this season series. A lot of Cubs fans here last night and again tonight. And by the way, the Jody Garrett move, the Cubs had to make a roster move, and Ben Grieve optioned back to AAA Iowa. So Garrett here tonight and available off the bench. Let's check out Dusty Baker's Cubs lineup, brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and the Cubs. Hairston, Walker, and Lee, 1 through 3. Burnitz, Ramirez, and Hollinsworth. 3 home runs for Ramos the last 4 games. Nafi Perez at short, and Henry Blanco catching for Mark Pryor.
And Reds manager Jerry Narron going with the same lineup he ran out there last night. Adam Dunn, Ken Griffey Jr., Willie Mo Pena across the outfield. Joe Randa, trade rumors swirling about the veteran third baseman. Felipe Lopez is short. Rich Aureli at second base. Sean Casey over at first. And Jason LaRue once again behind the plate for right-hander Luke Hudson. Get a look at Hudson's numbers on the season. His one victory came in his first start of the season. He began the season on the disabled list. His first start came on June 9th against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. He won that game, has not won another game since then.
And the umpires, Sam Holbrook, born in Moorhead, Kentucky, back at the plate. Randy Marsh, Larry Vanover, and Jim Wolf rounded out 3 of the 4 umpires born in Kentucky. And this ballpark has suited the Cubs extremely well this year. 3 games and 12 home runs already for the Cubs here at Great American.
And you know the pitchers like to see that 7.3 runs per game. Any starting pitcher in the major leagues will tell you if you can get 7 runs of support, you got a pretty good chance to win the game. There you see the dimensions here at Great America Park, but it doesn't really tell the whole story. The ball jumps to all parts of the ballpark. Not as much wind blowing tonight as we had in the ball game last night, but generally the prevailing wind comes down the river, blows out from the right field corner toward left center, helping right-handed pull hitters and lefties that go the other way.
Brandon Clausen gave up 5 home runs in 3 2/3 last night. He said, "I felt like Gallagher, the comedian, out there throwing watermelons."
All the home runs came on fastballs as well. He just couldn't command anything other than the fastball, and his control of the fastball was actually too good. Threw a lot of them right down the middle of the plate.
And the way the Cubs were hitting last night, it was like they were the sledgehammer and Clausen was that watermelon. So we're set for game 2, and it's Hudson to Hairston. Ball 1, we're underway. A couple of hits for Hairston, making his 19th start in center. That is a strike. 185 here at game time tonight. Line and the pitch. Curveball is low. 2-1 on Hairston. Last 8 games for the Cubs, 59 runs, 103 hits, 15 home runs, a .349 team batting average. Popped him up and toward the seats and out of play.
You may have noticed when we showed you Luke Hudson's season numbers earlier, in 24 2/3 innings pitched, he's allowed 49 base runners, 31 base hits, 18 walks. That's obviously 2 runners per inning. That's a tough way to pitch at the major league level. You're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble, especially with those 18 base on balls in 24 innings.
First appearance this year for Hudson against the Cubs in his career. 0-1 with a .360 earned run average in 2 starts. 28-year-old right-hander again on a 2-2, lined over Randa. So Hairston aboard is going to try for a double. And he slides in safely. That's his 16th 2-base hit. Cubs scored twice in the first inning last night. A couple of home runs, and Hairston leading off with an extra base hit tonight.
Hudson hangs a breaking ball up over the outer half of the plate, and Hairston's able to stay on it, keep it fair down that left field line. That's always a big thing for Jerry, keeping the ball fair, and he's able to do it this time. Hustles right out of the batter's box. That's where you get the extra base hits, is coming out of the batter's box. It doesn't matter what your speed is once you get on the bases. If you don't hustle out of the box, you're not going to have a good chance to get to second base on that ball in the corner.
Here's Todd Walker, an 11-game hitting streak. He's hitting .370. Hit 2 home runs last night. Floated in for strike 1 on Walker. The 2 home runs were off the left-hander, Clausen. 6th career 2-homer game for Todd Walker. The kick and the pitch. Way out in front.
Good curveball there from Hudson. He'll feature a 4-seam fastball, a good overhand curve that we just saw right there to Todd Walker. He also throws a straight changeup, and you know, when you haven't won in your last 5 starts, you try to work on some things as you get a look at that 12-6 curveball, and he's tried to throw some two-seamers. His fastball will normally sit in the low 90s, and the two-seamer in the high 80s, just trying to get some movement on his fastball.
0-2, and on the ground to the right side, so Hairston will end up at third. 3-1 on the putout. An RBI chance for Derek Lee, who has 75 ribbies on the year. Runner at third, 1 out.
Nice job by Todd Walker, even with 2 outs, or rather 2 strikes, looking to hook that ball to the right side and hopefully set the table for this guy. Boy, what a night last night. Jeez. Everything he hit was right on the sweet spot of the bat. 1 homer deep to left, 1 deep to center.
Jerry Narron, the Reds manager, was asked after the game, how do you pitch to Derek Lee? He said, maybe roll it up there. Swung at a bad pitch. He was geared up for something else, and very rare to see Derek swing at a pitch that far out of the strike zone. Leading the league in batting average, home runs, and 2 RBIs behind Carlos Lee in the National League. The 0-1 pitch, tap foul right at the plate.
You saw that last graphic, just stupid numbers with a runner at third and less than 2 outs, hitting over 600 in those situations. Reds will be glad to see him leave town.
4 homers in 3 games in this ballpark, and 7 in 6 games this year against the Reds. 0-2, just inside.
Well, the Reds are conceding a run here, obviously, early in the ball game. They were trying to stay out of a big inning, so they're playing their infield back. Derek Lee hits it anywhere but back to the pitcher. Cubs will get a run.
And a big strikeout for Hudson. Strikes out the best hitter in baseball, Derek Lee. And it'll be up to the cleanup man tonight, Jeremy Burnitz.
4-seam fastball right down the middle of the plate. I think the only reason Derek didn't get a piece of that pitch was the curveball that he swung at earlier in the count fooled him so badly. He had that in the back of his mind, and with a 2-strike count, he was probably thinking that Hudson might go back to that curveball and was just a little tardy on that heater.
Burnitz 1 for 5 last night. 290 career home runs for Burnitz. Little tapper foul. Pretty quiet here to start this one. Everyone just kind of getting settled in.
They're all still shell shocked from last night.
A lot of Cubs blue in the stands again tonight. 0-1 to Burnitz, and it's fouled back, 2 strikes. The Reds hit a ton of home runs. They give up a bunch. Allowed 139 home runs. Two is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the Cubs are 1 home run behind the leaders, the Reds. Cubs with 120. Reds have hit 121. 1-2. Another foul by Burnitz. Well, Hairston led off the ball game with a double, moved to third on the ground out by Walker. He's still there with 2 outs.
Still some remnants of the afternoon sun shining in the face of Adam Dunn in left field, Ken Griffey Jr. in center field. Pretty much the rest of the field in shadows.
Well, one thing the Cubs have done extremely well is they've worked the starting pitchers for the opposition. Big time. 5 of the last 6 opposing starting pitchers have gone 4 innings or less against the Cubs, including last night's starter Brandon Clausen, which is 3 2/3. Popped him up. Here's second base, and it's Felipe Lopez. Cubs fail to score. They strand a runner at third. Mark Pryor to the mound when we come back.
Now, here's a Sex and the City quickie. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, girls, see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Night-night.
Sex in the City all week long this fall.
The smooth taste that gets things started. The refreshing taste that keeps things going. Where will you find the great taste of Bud Light? Wherever good friends get together. And wherever good times are going on and on. Bud Light. Great taste for your great times.
So, here's the one you saw on Cars.com. It's silver with alloy wheels and a bed liner.
Give me 5, man. Up high. Can you do crosstown? I'm sorry? Crosstown it.
What's that?
Crosstown it. That's what I'm talking about.
Crosstown.
Can you wiggle it?
Wiggle what?
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. That's all right, we'll work on it.
Finding the car you want feels pretty good. Cars.com can help. Research, locate, even contact a dealer.
Can you bird it? Can you do the bird? Can you do the bird?
Find the right car for you. Cars.com.
So you're not gonna talk? Then we're gonna talk.
Not my minutes, man.
Happy birthday, Nana. Dry cleaning, is that deductible?
Thank you for holding.
Peak hours.
Hang it up!
In a land far, far away. Hello? Department of Motor Vehicles.
Never enough minutes on your wireless plan? Come to T-Mobile and get the most whenever minutes.
More minutes. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Now get the most whenever minutes guaranteed. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile. Get more minutes.
Now the Reds starting lineup under interim manager Jerry Narrett. Lopez, Aurelia, Casey. Lopez, the All-Star. Ken Griffey Jr. with 521 career home runs. Randa, Dunn, Pena, and the battery tonight, LaRue and Hudson.
Here's how the Cubs take the field defensively. Brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of MLB and the Cubs. Hollinsworth, Hairston, Burnitz across the outfield. Ramirez, Perez, Walker, Lee in the infield. Henry Blanco getting the nod behind the plate tonight. Catching for right-hander Mark Pryor.
And his first pitch, an outside corner strike on Felipe Lopez, a switch hitter. Numbers 4, Pryor looking for his 7th win. Beat the Pirates on Thursday, 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 unearned run, 3 walks, tied a season high with 10 strikeouts. And he's already 2-0 against the Reds this year. 2-2 in his career with a 199 earned run average. Swing and a miss. Good curveball.
Like a lot of powerful teams, one of the keys to beating the Reds is keeping this guy off base. Lopez, with 3 base hits in a ball game last night, only scored a couple of runs, but he's kind of the straw that stirs the drink over here. If he can get on base ahead of the Bombers, they have a chance to maximize the damage. So this is a guy you definitely want to work hard on right here.
In that 8-inning start for Pryor, he threw 116 pitches, by far the most since coming off the disabled list. Cubs will keep a close eye on him after those 116 pitches as Hollinsworth makes the catch. And Mark said the other day, he said, I'm almost there. And the 5th inning has been a little bit of a problem as we look ahead tonight. Well, you take 2 bad innings out, and he would have a 191 earned run average.
Unfortunately, you can't do that. I mean, his numbers are very impressive to begin with, but when you think that really his inflated ERA is due to 2 bad innings, and he's had some situations lately where it looked like it was heading in that direction. He was able to right the ship and get out of a jam, so certainly that's a good sign.
And his ERA is pretty good as it is, 3.07. And as Rich Aurelia, a 1-strike count. Pryor has allowed 14 earned runs in the 5th inning. A total of 14 earned runs in all the other innings this year. Opponents hitting just 192 against Pryor. You look at the difference between his batting average and what he gives up. The difference is .081. Only Jason Marquis has a bigger difference because Marquis hitting .354 and opponents have hit .248 against him. Mark Pryor's hitting .273. It's always good to out-hit your opponents when you're a pitcher.
Yeah, that old cliche, if you shut him out and hit a home run, you got a real good chance to win the game. That pretty much applies to Mark Pryor.
Two and two on Aurelia. Sean Casey on deck. No score. We're in the bottom of the first inning. And he got a good pitch on a fastball, and Aurelia will walk back to the dugout empty-handed.
Great location on this fastball, right on the outside corner, just above the knees. That's nearly an unhittable pitch for a right-handed hitter that stands as far off the plate as Rich Aurelia does. Really likes that ball from the middle of the plate in, something he can jerk to left field unless he has runners on base, and then he will try to hit behind the runner, try to hit to the hole in the defense, but with nobody on, he's looking to pull.
The pitch to Sean Casey, outside, ball one. 1 for 4 last night. Casey just 3 for 19 in his career against Mark Pryor. Wind and the pitch. Backhanded by Navy. Throws off the back foot right on the money to Derek Lee. Nicely done. A 1-2-3 start for Mark Pryor.
Can't we stay another day?
Sure.
Florida. Easy to get to, hard to leave. Go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $59 internet specials from Chicago Midway to Florida. Purchased by August 4th, only at Southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
One part of this concept car is already on the road. Michelin MX tires. Chosen by more luxury car makers to enhance the performance of their cars. Michelin, a better way forward.
It says here that a Burger King Tender Crisp chicken sandwich has 45 grams of fat. 45? This oven roasted chicken breast sandwich at Subway restaurants, it has 5 grams of fat. This is real chicken with fresh veggies and freshly baked bread. Subway, eat fresh.
I'm an AmeriQuest mortgage specialist, and whether your dream is to buy a home, refinance, or see the Rolling Stones, I'm here to help. That's why we're sponsoring the Rolling Stones tour. I love you. For your chance to win tickets, go to AmeriQuest.com. AmeriQuest Mortgage, proud sponsor of the American dream.
Book the date. Sex in the City, 7 nights a week this fall.
Second inning, no score, and Aramis Ramirez will lead it off for the Cubs. Jody Garrett watching from the bench. He didn't have to leave the state. Flew in from Cleveland today. The Indians hosting the Royals this week. His career numbers. And Ramirez drills one left field. Adam Dunn has no idea where the ball is. Lost it in the sun. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Would have been a double either way, but Dunn was completely frozen.
Yeah, the only problem would have been is if that line drive was hit right at him. He never saw that ball off the bat. Stood like a statue in left field. We mentioned he's kind of staring into what's left of the afternoon sun here. High fastball tomahawked into left field by Ramirez. Then holds his glove up. He knows it's out there somewhere, but he has to wait till the ball hits the ground before he can go chase it down. That's a helpless feeling for an outfitter when you know the ball's coming somewhere in your vicinity, but you're not quite sure where.
All right, take two for the Cubs. A leadoff double in the first. Failed to score. And they're going to have a runner at third with one out again. So Hollingsworth moves the runner up, and Nathan Perez has an RBI chance. Good play by Sean Casey. Well, Jody Garrett playing now for his hometown Cubs. He did grow up a White Sox fan. He has admitted it. But his dad, a huge Cubs fan, and said his dad always dreamed of Jody playing for the Cubs in the World Series. And that dream hopefully will come true. He went to Willowbrook High. And very excited about being back in his hometown. Went to Stanford, earned a degree in history. Wrote a 20-page paper on Soviet patent laws at Stanford. Infield in against Navy.
Oh my! He might be too smart to play this game.
I'll tell you what. We have a not tonight, but I won't even say it. I'll have to say it now. If we ever have a rain delay, we'll get that 20-page paper and we'll read it.
For those of you who are having trouble sleeping.
One ball, no strikes on Nafee. The kick and the pitch. Popped him up behind second. And that will not get the job done. So 2 outs with the number 8 hitter, Henry Blanco, coming up. So Luke Hudson has been getting some outs when needed.
Jody Garrett, when he played for the Cleveland Indians, came out to Arizona in interleague play and played against our Arizona Diamondbacks and had a big series. Went 5 for 11. And if I'm not mistaken, he had 3 hits in the first game, 2 hits in the second game, and then got hit by a pitch and missed the third game.
It does happen, yeah.
Good looking swing, the line drive swing to all fields. Occasional power to his pull field, which is right field, obviously, for a left-handed hitter. And as you mentioned at the top of the show, can play all 3 outfield positions.
Breaking ball missed. Garrett has walked more than he has struck out. Missed over a month to start 05 while recovering from right knee surgery late last year. Hudson with a 1-1. Just off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
I'd really be surprised to see Hudson give Henry Blanco anything good to hit here. Even though Mark Pryor's been swinging the bat well, you'd much rather take your chances with the opposing pitcher as opposed to that number 8 hitter.
He held up. Good eye to make it 3-1. And with the way the starters have been swinging the bats, yeah, a walk isn't a terrible thing. The starters with a 6-game hitting streak. Jerome Williams kept it alive with a 5th inning single last night. And he'll get a chance. Yeah, we were talking with Jerome Williams after the game. He said he heard about it all night. This is a big deal. Starting pitchers, they want to keep the momentum going. The starters 8 for their last 19. And the thing about it for Williams, the first 2 times he came up last night, he was asked to lay down a sacrifice bunt. So he really didn't even get a good chance to get a hit until his 3rd at bat, and he did come through.
It's like any job. You know, if you can have fun doing what you're doing, it makes it a lot easier to show up and put in the hours and the extra work it takes to become a better hitter as a pitcher. And now these guys, you know, they're doing this for bragging rights, and who knows what else is on the line. Max has been known to place a wager or 2 when there's some competition involved. So they take a lot of pride in this, but yet at the same time having a lot of fun doing it.
1 ball, no strikes on Pryor. 2 hits Thursday, his 5th career multi-hit game. The pitch at the knees for a strike. Mark can't handle the bat. The career .212 hitter.
We've seen a couple of funny swings on that Hudson curveball. Must be very hard to pick up the rotation right now at this time of day. And that ball starts almost out of the strike zone, just dive bombs into the dirt. LaRue with a nice job to block it and hold Ramirez at 3rd base. as well as Blanco at first.
Vern Rule, the Reds' new pitching coach. No swing. Randy Marsh with the call. It was close.
You be the umpire.
That's one of those check swings where you could just flip a coin, make a call, and Cubs benefiting, and Pryor hanging in there.
Yeah, most check swings, no matter what you call, you're going to get yelled at from one dugout or the other. Rule's still shaking his head over there about that non-call on the check swing.
2-2 almost hit him. You see Mark with the sleeve on the right arm, keeping that throwing arm and keeping it warm, although it is a hot night. Can't wear it when you're on the mound. If you wear one sleeve, you have to wear two.
Kind of a neat fashion statement, though. You just wear one sock while it hits.
Blanco running, swing and a miss to end the inning. 2 strikeouts for Hudson. He's worked around some trouble in the first 2.
Night I went to the prom by myself to my 18th birthday party where all my ex-boyfriends showed up. It's all right here in the diary of me, Moesha Mitchell. Occupation, teenager.
Her name is Brandy. Her show is Moesha. Her message?
Follow your own star.
New this fall on Superstation WGN.
Too bad she dumped you. She didn't dump me. We're just taking a break. Right. Can't believe you locked this thing. Sweet. Let's roll. Wait. What? Ooh. Not cool.
How about a deal? Thanks.
The new 12-ounce plastic bottle 8-pack from Pepsi, perfectly portable, fridge-friendly, car cup size convenience. Now that's refreshing.
Cholesterol comes from 2 sources. It's not only from that foot-long Frank, but from your Grandpa Frank. And not just from that Virginia ham, but from your Aunt Ginny, too. Your cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It also has a lot to do with family history. Ask your doctor about Vytorin. A healthy diet is important, but when it's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Vytorin treats the 2 sources of cholesterol, food, and what your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin was proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Follow a healthy diet and ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. For the 2 sources of cholesterol, remember the name Vytorin. That's Vytorin.
No score as we get set for the bottom of the 2nd, and Cubs fans, don't forget to visit our WGN Baseball blog. And on the blog today, I answer some of your recent questions and respond to some of your posts. Today's game notes from our friends at Stats Inc. And as always, the Cubs minor league report. Check it out, WGNTV.com, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. We also want to wish Jason Du Bois the best of luck now with the Cleveland Indians. He'll get worked into that outfield rotation. Probably will DH a bit. And Jason really was hitting the ball well in just a few games at AAA Iowa. 1 ball, no strikes on Ken Griffey. 0 for 1 officially last night. Sac fly, a walk, and he was hit by a pitch. Pryor ready, and a 2-0 is on the way. 3 balls, no strikes. One of the things I really liked about the deal is it was a baseball trade. We'll take one of your outfielders, we'll give you one of ours. There's no money involved. Nobody was making a deal to take a contract off another team's hands. You don't see a ton of baseball trades made anymore.
No player to be named later. No, you're right, just a player for a player.
Lead off walk here in the 2nd. Joe Randa will come up, and Pryor will work from the stretch for the first time tonight.
No clauses to be renegotiated or anything like that. Just, hey, we like your guy. If you like our guy, let's do this thing.
A strike on Randa, who's 4 for his last 29. Adam Dunn behind him, 5 for 32. Willie Mulpena batting 7, 5 for his last 33. The Reds, however, are second in the league in runs. We were talking late last night. It got a little bit uncomfortable after the Reds scored 3 runs in the 7th inning to make it a 7-4 game. The Cubs added single tallies in the 8th and 9th to make the final 9-4, but you need to keep adding on in this ballpark. And Randa with a seed to left. First and second with Adam Dunn coming up.
You look up and down this Reds lineup. I mean, Rich Aurelia at 9, Sean Casey at 4, and Jason LaRue at 7. The only starters that aren't in double figures in home runs. Led by Adam Dunn's 24. Ken Griffey Jr. has 20. The rest of the players in the teens. And in this ballpark, no lead is safe. You have to approach this stadium the same way you do Coors Field. Continue to add on to a lead every chance you get.
58 career home runs in this park for Adam Dunn. He's the leader here at Great American. Swing and a miss.
Good first pitch change up there from Mark Pryor, a guy that's dead low ball fastball hitter. Looking heater on the first pitch there. Got a change up in a location he liked, but the speed just wasn't there.
The 0-1 is bounced foul. 0-2 on Dunn.
Solid numbers either way. Batting average just above 190, either with runners on or bases empty. Only 3 of the 11 home runs he's given up this year have come with runners on base.
Well, Adam Dunn tied for the National League lead with 98 strikeouts along with Brad Wilkerson. Todd Walker with the catch. Dunn crushed it. Walker with a diving stab. 1 out.
Boy, not much time for Walker to react to that ball. Just a couple steps and a dive. Hit like a bullet towards that gap in right center field. The unfortunate thing is the ball was hit so hard it didn't really give the runners much of a chance to get off their respective bases for the possibility of a double play. See, Junior at second base was headed back already, as was Rand at first base. Hang with him.
1 out. Now it's Pena.
That's what somebody on the bench was telling him. Hang with him. Hit it good. Stay right there. You're all right. Yeah, it's funny how you hear the same cliches, the same sayings around the batting cage during batting practice. Whether it be the hitting instructor or the manager or one of the other coaches or even one of the other players as a guy's taking a round of batting practice. Stay through the ball now. Stay on it. Stay on it. There you go. Right there. There you go. That's the one. That's the one. Now stay right there. There you go. There you go. Just all verbal reinforcement.
Saw Mark after a couple of curveballs that missed, just kind of mimicking the motion. The 2-0 was a fastball fouled away.
We talked about Mark Pryor's curveball throughout the season. It's not your standard curveball that you're used to seeing from a major league pitcher. Generally, a curveball will leave a pitcher's hand and go up a little bit before it takes the break and starts to come down into the strike zone. Mark has such great arm speed on his curveball that it actually comes straight out of his hand just like a fastball. Right there. I mean, it's not really a bender. You know, you think about the old description of a curveball being a bender. I mean, that ball looks like a fastball coming out of his hand and then just bottoms out as it gets into the hitting zone.
Good comeback here. It's 2-2. The next pitch. Good block by Henry. 3-2.
I'd be surprised if Jerry Narron has the runners on the move here, even though it would be an opportunity to stay out of the double play if Pena would happen to hit a ground ball. But Willie Mo Pena strikes out entirely too often to run that kind of a risk with a couple runners on base. But we'll see. The team's been struggling. Sometimes you do things out of the ordinary just to try to shake it loose.
They are not running, and a strikeout. So Mark got his curveball back in that at bat.
Actually stayed up a little bit more than I'm sure he would have liked, but got the desired result anyway. It was enough off speed to get Pena out in front, and then the movement prevented him from making any contact as Chris Chambliss, the hitting coach, looks on.
Jason LaRue, the second straight start. Jerry Narron was asked yesterday, why aren't you playing Javier Valentin, who hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam at 7 RBIs Sunday? And Narron said, well, just want to give you guys something to write about. But he said, looking at the matchups, he said, Valentin's probably going to play against Wood and Maddox. And he said, I want to get Jason into this series. So getting LaRue into the first 2 games. And we'll likely see Valentin for the final 2 games of this series.
I don't know, it'd be pretty tough for me to take a guy out of the lineup that just went deep twice in a game, drove in 7. I think you'd want to run him right back out there again.
1-1 to LaRue. Pryor walked Griffey. That gave up the single to Randa, but a chance to work out of a jam here in the second inning. Luke Hudson has allowed 2 leadoff doubles the first 2 innings, but has not given up a run. To right, and Burnitz is going to have to go get it all the way to the fence. So 1 run is in, and Walker's relay throw to the plate, going to be close, safe. Randa just got in. So LaRue with a 2-run, 2-out double.
So many times that base hit to the opposite field with runners in scoring position, especially with 2 outs. That's where the hits are. That's where most pitchers are going to work you. That ball's on the outer third of the plate. LaRue just stays with it. Gets it by Burnitz all the way down in the corner. They had a play at the plate on Randa, but he just did get in ahead of the tag at the plate.
Fastball strikeout Hudson, who's 1 for 6 this year, 3 for 22 in his career. It's 2-0 Reds. Base hit to center. Hairston wasn't playing very deep, and LaRue's going to have to hold it third. So that's the good news. But it will give Felipe Lopez a chance. With runners at the corners.
Well, Mark Pryor has thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. See where Henry Blanco was set up way on the outside corner. That ball tailed back on the inner half, and only the fact that Jerry Hairston was playing so shallow, got to that ball so quickly, held that runner at third base.
Pryor has thrown 34 pitches. So a quick word from the pitching coach, Larry Rothschild. Dusty's club again. There's a 7 of 8. And the Cubs right now 2 games over 500. 3rd place in the wild card, 5 out, 13 back, and in 2nd place in the Central. Reds are 38 and 54. in 6th place in the division. Lopez lined out in the 1st inning. Inside, ball 1. Well, the power has been there for Lopez this year. His career slugging percentage into this year was .379. He's slugging .518, 14 home runs for Lopez. And Walker did make the catch. So that is a line out to end the inning. Jason LaRue with a 2-run double, 3 hits in the inning, 2 runs for the Reds.
Hey baby, I'm running late. I'll see you there.
You got it. Hey, where's the missus? She's late. She's late? Late? Yeah, late. Hey everybody! Lisa and Big Daddy are expecting. Somebody get this man a Bud Light. Well, Big Daddy is thirsty.
Hope it ain't ugly. Anything for the smooth taste of Bud Light. Great taste for your great times.
Can I have a word with you?
One part of this concept car is already on the road. Michelin MX tires. Chosen by more luxury car makers to enhance the performance of their cars. Michelin, a better way forward.
Starting July 5th, when you buy a Big Mac or large fries at McDonald's, you could win a PlayStation Portable or one of 50,000 PlayStation prizes.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
Becker makes a new old friend.
Someone has been working out.
I don't want to be with you.
Next Becker.
Tonight at 11 Eastern on WGN.
Jason LaRue with a 2-run double, putting the Reds on the board first tonight. Receive in-game alerts, scores, breaking news, and more instantly on your mobile phone for only $3.99 per month. Simply text the word Cubs to 65246 or MLB Go from your mobile phone. So it'll be the top of the order for the Cubs here in the 3rd inning. We've got a lot of birthday wishes tonight. Also, get well wishes to former Maine East High School basketball coach Ken Sartini, recovering from surgery at Glenbrook Hospital. And we want to send out happy birthday wishes to former Cub first baseman, the 1945 National League Most Valuable Player, Phil Cavarretta, watching tonight. Lives just outside of Atlanta. Happy 89th to Phil Cavarretta. Hairston doubled to start the ball game, ended up stranded at 3rd. Look out, Chris Spire. Look out, fans down that left field line. You better be paying attention when Jerry Hairston's at the plate.
No kidding. Not only on the far side of the dugout, but on the short side of the dugout as well. I've never seen a guy be able to pull the ball back over his left shoulder the way Jerry Hairston does. We talked about it earlier this season that Dusty and Gene Kleins were really trying to get him to stay up the middle of the field a little bit more.
To left field, Adam Dunn going over near the corner, makes the catch.
Cubs working from behind tonight. Seems over the last 3 games leading up to the All-Star break, and then since the break, every time the opposition has scored, the Cubs have found a way to answer, at least get back on the board, put some pressure on that other team.
There's a pitch to Todd Walker, outside edge for a strike. Also, happy birthday to Cubs team physician, Dr. Steven Adams. Happy birthday, Doc. Fans watching in Vegas tonight on the Superstation. 115 dry degrees. Ooh. It was like 125 or 126 in Death Valley yesterday.
Appropriately named.
Sean Casey scoops it and tags first.
My wife is actually in Las Vegas right now with her family celebrating the 75th birthday of her father, Jack Muskimmons. They picked a heck of a week to go to Vegas.
Derek Lee struck out swinging in the first inning. 2 home runs last night. His 6th 2-homer game already this year. Has 15 in his career. 30 home runs, 3rd straight season. He has hit 30. His career high 32 accomplished last year. Oh, 1 pitch. Now straight back on the ground. Derek became the 5th Cub to hit his 30th home run of the season before the club's 100th game. Dave Kingman, Hank Sauer, Sammy Sosa many times, and Hack Wilson a couple of times. Derek doing it in the team's 92nd game. Last year in the 143rd game he hit his 30th. Two on the way. It's too high. Pryor was allowed 2 runs through 2 innings. He didn't break very much.
You mentioned former Cub great Hank Sauer, who was one of my hitting instructors in the minor leagues with the San Francisco Giants, was a firm believer in confidence at the plate, and one of the things he would ask a young hitter, hey kid, can you hit? And you had to answer him, you bet your sweet rear end.
Thanks for editing. Derek Lee will try for the 3rd Cubs double. And Derek Lee could have answered that question very confidently.
Yeah.
Let's pause briefly for station identification.
This is America's home for sports all year round. Superstation WGN.
Bob Brenly, Len Casper, our WGN sports crew, live from Cincinnati. Runner at second with 2 outs. 3 hits for the Cubs, all doubles. Curveball strike on Burnett.
Including a couple of leadoff doubles. You certainly hope that doesn't come back to haunt. A leadoff double in the first by Hairston, leadoff double by Ramirez in the second. They were able to move him to third base with the next batter, but unfortunately couldn't get him in either time.
Very close to hitting Burnett. Well, Hudson has not been afraid to throw inside tonight. Mentioned his numbers, not pretty. He's lost 3 straight starts. 0-3 with 17.65 earned run average, 20 hits in under 9 innings. Over the last 3 starts, he came off the disabled list in early June, missed the first 2 months with a right shoulder strain. He had shoulder surgery, missed all of 2003. Hudson acquired from the Rockies in December of 01. He's a 4th round pick of Colorado out of the University of Tennessee in 1998. The 3-1 pitch, and Burnett gets the free pass, so Ramirez will come up with 2 on and 2 down. Luke Hudson was drafted in 1998 by the Rockies. We mentioned 4th round. 2 rounds before him, the Rockies selected Jody Garrett. Always try to find the connections.
Oh, yeah. 6 degrees of separation.
I've got another one for you. Garrett was sent from the Rockies to the Indians in 01 in a trade that involved Jacob Cruz, who's in the Reds dugout, their top pinch hitter. Pitch to Ramirez. He's used that curveball liberally here in the first 3 innings.
We mentioned all the home runs off of Brandon Clausen in the ball game last night coming on fastballs. The Reds had a big powwow out behind the pitcher's mound very early today with Vern Rule, the coaching staff, Jerry Narron, talking to their young pitchers as Ramirez fouls one down the third base line. Ramirez last night, oh, just a no-doubter. We talked about how small this ballpark plays, and when you square one up like that, there's very little doubt that it's going to leave the park. The only question is, where is it going to land? And I'm sure part of that meeting that the Reds had with their pitchers out behind the mound were talking about using the other pitches in their arsenal. I mean, this is the Cubs right now are a good hitting ball club. Everybody up and down the lineup seeing the ball well, swinging the bats well. You've got to use your off-speed pitches, use your breaking balls. You can't just throw fastballs to a team that's swinging the bats good.
Well, the 2-1 is drilled by Ramirez. This ball is deep, and it will go. That is a 3-run homer, and the Cubs have the lead 3-2. And for Ramos, his 4th home run in the last 5 games. 150th career home run.
Well, a couple of things. We talked about it earlier, those RBIs to the opposite field with 2 outs in the inning and runners in scoring position. Ramirez goes the opposite way. It was a fastball up and out over the plate. And don't forget the at-bat by Jeremy Burnitz, laying off some tough borderline pitches, drawing the walk to set the table for Aramis Ramirez.
And everything happening with 2 outs.
Well, we saw that pull swing last night. This time staying through the ball. Looks like he's even trying to blow it on out of here, giving a little extra help. It didn't need any help.
7th career home run for Ramirez here in this yard. 3-2 Cubs. Yeah, just 17 games for Ramirez. 7 home runs here in Cincinnati in this ballpark. And for the Cubs, their 13th home run this year here. This is just their 4th game in this ballpark. The Cubs went into that game at Florida on July 8th, ranked 13th in the National League in runs. Right now they're 5th. And I mean, this deep into the season, it's tough to move up a lot of spots in the rankings, but to go from 13th to 5th, and that's a lot of runs. And we mentioned the Cubs now since then with 62 runs.
Yeah, because the teams that they leapfrogged, they weren't just taking days off. They were playing and scoring runs, but not with the regularity that the Cubs have been scoring runs lately.
So Ramirez has homered in 3 straight games for the 2nd time this year. He has 23 on the year, now has 67 RBIs. He started the night 9th in the league in RBIs and tied for 7th in home runs. And that's after a pretty slow start for Ramirez this year. started to get it going in late May. Innings still going as Hollingsworth draws the walk.
Well, Dusty talked about it after the ball game last night. This is the time of the year that you usually see the hitters start to heat up. The weather gets warm. The humidity goes up. The ball seems to carry a little better. The pitchers are getting to that point of the season where maybe they're not quite as sharp as they were earlier in the year. So keep an eye on the box scores around baseball and see if you don't notice that the score totals go dramatically up for the next month or two here.
40 RBIs for Ramirez his last 41 games. He's over 300. Ramos was at 226 on May 26th. Hollingsworth with his lead at first. And a pitch by Hudson. Knee-high strike on Nafee. Todd Hollingsworth had 2 hits and 2 walks Sunday. Matt Merton had 4 hits last night. So the left fielders giving Dusty Baker a lot of production lately. Hollingsworth running. Curveball in there for a strike, and the throw right on the money. The fastball from LaRue to get Hollingsworth. 3-run homer, Aramis Ramirez. It's 3-2 Cubbies.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines, the airline committed to serving Chicago. From Midway Airport to cities in the West for just $84 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Mr. Fogel, no denying your body's changed over the years. Did you ingest anything that helped create your new physique?
Yes. Usually a 6-inch turkey breast sub for lunch and a foot-long veggie delights for dinner.
What is this?
We're going to need more evidence.
Think about the mountains you want to climb in the BMW X5. The corners you want to take. The hairpin turns you plan to find. Because it would be very un-BMW-like to have you thinking about brake pads, rotors, and oil changes. The BMW X5, the only SAV in its class with a standard full maintenance program. All new BMWs have full maintenance, which covers oil changes to brakes for 4 years or 50,000 miles.
This wireless bill is outrageous.
Leslie Ann Johnson.
Who's making these calls? Aiden, Patrick, Riley, Hogan, McFarlane.
Buffy, DeLorean, Rigsdale.
Vishay Rajnikupta.
Nakamura Yoichiro-san.
Sunspray Honeysuckle Smith.
Not enough minutes on your family's wireless plan?
I gotta call you back.
Come to T-Mobile, where families get more whenever minutes to share.
More minutes?
More minutes.
Families talk free and get the most whenever minutes guaranteed.
T-Mobile. Get more minutes.
This is America's home for super comedy. Superstation WGN.
WGN Sports coverage of Cubs baseball from Cincinnati is brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. Bud Light. And Bob Albrecht from our crew watching the game with his daughter Lily. Here tonight, it's 3-2 Cubs. Bob obviously not working tonight. We should state that for the record.
Lily's going to have to behave herself tonight. Dad's sitting right next to her. Not that she doesn't behave herself always, but Bob's going to make sure of that tonight.
If you would like to email us, please do. WGN Cubs TV booth at AOL.com. One and one on Rich Aurelia. Mark Pryor working with a lead for the first time tonight. Ramirez with a 3-run homer off Luke Hudson. Mentioned Pryor's last time out, tying his season high with 10 strikeouts. Third time this year he has struck out 10. Called strike 3. Got him on the breaker, and Aurelia has been caught looking twice. That's 3 Ks for Pryor. His career high in strikeouts, 16. He's done that twice. The last time he did it was against the Reds last year.
Well, once again, Aurelia standing far off the plate, just has a problem not only hitting pitches on that outside corner, but seeing good pitches on that outside corner.
Now 3-time All-Star Sean Casey, All-Star 99, 01, and 04.
Well, we said in the last half inning how the Cubs have been able to bounce back after losing a lead. They were able to do that, come back with the Ramos Ramirez home run to take the lead. Now a big inning for Mark Pryor to put a 0 on the board, get his team back in the dugout. The ebb and flow of a baseball game. I've said it before, I think momentum is such a big part of this game. Get a team down, keep them down.
Casey to right, caught by Burnitz. Sean Casey with just 1 home run at home this year. That was Sunday against the Rockies. So his home run number's down. A problem with his batting average. He's a line drive hitter. Ken Griffey with 2 outs and nobody on. Swing and a miss. Got some emails regarding Scott Williamson, who threw here in the bullpen before the game yesterday, and Larry Rothschild said he looked very good. Well, he's heading out for a minor league rehab assignment in Iowa tomorrow. So Scott Williamson's return may not be too far down the road as the Cubs look to supplement their bullpen.
Boy, it has been an amazingly quick recovery for Scott Williamson, even to be to the point where they're thinking about sending him out on a rehab assignment.
It used to be with Tommy John surgery, it was a year. I mean, at least 1 calendar year before you'd even think about pitching.
And usually 18 months before the guy returned to full effectiveness.
Well, Ryan Dempster came back in about a year's time last year. Well, Williamson had the surgery in October. It's his 2nd Tommy John. And I remember talking to Scott in spring training. He felt good because he said, I've gone through this before. I think I know what I can accomplish. And you always want to be cautious with a guy coming off a major surgery like that. But Scott Williamson has been feeling good, and hopefully we'll be back soon. High in the air for Griffey. This ball deep, but it's going to stay in. Hairston ran back like he was going to have to go all the way to the fence. He didn't even make it to the warning track. It's 3-2 Cubs.
As you know, it's wedding season. So we all need to be on the lookout for guys like this.
We are going to have tons and tons of opportunities to meet gorgeous ladies that are so aroused by the thought of marriage that they'll throw their inhibitions to the wind.
Wedding crashers?
You know how they say we only use 10% of our brains? I think we only use 10% of our hearts.
What do they want? To drink Budweiser and meet beautiful women like us. So what should we do? What we girls always do. Play along.
Love where your head's at.
The #1 cause of headaches? Everyday life. Want fast relief? Introducing New Bear Rapid Headache Relief. It's proven to release medicine 5 times faster than Tylenol gels. It rushes relief to your headache. New Bear Rapid Headache Relief.
Hello, Farmers Health Point. How can I help you?
Hi, isn't I just got rear-ended by some yahoo?
Are you okay?
Well, I'm fine. My car's a little busted up, though.
No problem. We'll take care of it.
How fast can Farmers Help Point service get your car fixed after an accident? Well, you get the idea. Help Point is free with your policy. To find an agent near you, call 1-800-FARMERS.
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by CarQuest. 3,600 CarQuest Auto Parts stores across North America.
This is America's home for super comedy. Superstation WGN.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Now, Mark Pryor chatting with Larry Rothschild and the Cubs training staff. Ed Halber on the left, Mark O'Neill on the right. It's 3-2 Cubs. Catch a ride to and from the game on the new double-decker bus trolley service. Round-trip fares to Wrigley from either downtown or the Metro station at Ravenswood and Lawrence are only $5. For more information on the new trolley service, visit Cubs.com. A.P. Perez starting the fourth inning, taking a strike. Wanted to clear something up because even his teammates have dropped Neffy for Nafey. I asked him. It's Nafey. Line to right, and Pena makes a catch coming in. So that's how he says it.
It's Mr. Perez. If he hit that ball right on the button, sinking line drive, Willie Mo Pena had to come on in a hurry to make the play.
Line in the pitch to Blanco. Ball one. Henry Blanco has a fan club. Kind of an interesting name. It'll play on words. The Hank White fan club. Blanco in Spanish, of course, means white. So Hank White fan club. We had Henry on the post-game show the other day, and that was a very popular feature. Fan club very excited about it. 2-0 is hammered, just foul.
Well, the members of the Hank White fan club will have to change their uniform numbers now because Jody Garrett inherited the number 9 that Henry used to wear. Hank, I'm sorry.
Speaking of names, Jody comes from Joseph Diego Garrett. Jody Garrett. Look at all kinds of stuff tonight. Casey under this one, drifting into foul territory, 2 outs. Well, it'll be interesting to see how he works into that outfield rotation. He can play all 3 spots. He's played a lot of right field. Of course, he won't play a lot of right with Jeremy Burnitz playing every day. It's to Pryor, a strike.
You know, one thing we've talked about, the weather heating up, the humidity being extremely high back here in the Midwest this time of year, and the Cubs run pretty much a regular lineup out there with the exception of left field. So it may be the time of the year that Dusty would decide to get Garrett in there, maybe 1 game in left, 1 in center, 1 in right, give everybody a day off across the outfield. You know, there are ways to work a guy into the lineup, especially a guy who's versatile enough to play all 3 outfield positions. I mean, you know, these guys are not going to ask for a day off, not when they're swinging the bats the way they are right now. They want to play every day, but you know, as a manager, you have to have your eye on the big picture. It's a long season. They still have a long way to go, and you want to make sure everybody gets appropriate rest, whether they believe they need it or not.
That ball landed in the Reds radio booth right next door. Joe Nuxall filling in for Marty Brenneman tonight. Joe, a longtime Reds podcaster, along with Steve Stewart. Steve on the left, a little bit surprised by that foul ball, and they're all right.
Steve had his head down. The ball hit right on the railing in front of him, and about threw his headset off right there. You know, the old left-hander's giving him a hard time too.
Mark Pryor to right, but he hit it right at Willie Mo Pena. Cubs go down in order. They lead 3-2.
The new 12-ounce plastic bottle 8-pack from Pepsi, perfectly portable, fridge-friendly, car cup-sized convenience. Now that's refreshing.
I'm not calling out of my network.
Call the manager.
On my network.
How about the maitre d'?
Not calling out of my network.
No, you got us into this mess.
No.
Worried about calling out of your network?
Okay, I'm stuck, but I'm still not calling out of my network.
I got your network right here.
Really?
With T-Mobile, you get the most whenever minutes, so you can call who you want, when you want.
Great.
T-Mobile gives you the most whenever minutes. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile. Get more minutes.
I'm gonna take the shortcut.
Well, now, where's the fire, boys? Oh, fresh toasted sandwiches. Well, get those babies home before they get cold.
Fresh toasted sandwiches from Subway restaurants.
I'm hungry. You hungry?
Sponsors of Greg Biffle and Car 16.
Air freshener too strong? New metered release Aerometrics for a long-lasting fragrance that's never out of control.
This is America's home for super comedy. Superstation WGN.
3-2 Cubs, bottom of the fourth, and Cubs fans, don't forget, if you missed seeing the broadcast premiere of this old Cubs Saturday night, Jeff Sano's outstanding documentary about his father Ron, it'll be presented again thanks to the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. The encore broadcast July 30th at 1 o'clock Central before the Cubs Diamondbacks at 3. And thanks to our friends as well at Walgreens. Joe Randa leading off the fourth inning for Cincinnati. We spent some time with Ron yesterday, and we had several fans come up to the group and say, Ron, we saw the movie Saturday night. I'm going to watch it again. It was great. I mean, it has really touched a lot of people. Curveball for a strike. 1-2 on Randa. Singled and scored in the second. Ground ball to third. Ramirez up with it. Bad throw. Randa had to vault over Derek Lee. And he'll hold it first. An error on Ramirez. He has surpassed his error total from last year. That's his 11th. It almost, Bob, looked to me like he got rid of it almost too quickly.
He had to lay back just a little bit on that ball, but I never really got any momentum. Got his body in an upright position, but didn't really get momentum going toward first base. And just like with a pitcher, when that front shoulder flies open, that ball doesn't always go where you're aiming it. That time he pulled Derek way up the line off first base.
Cubs with their 7th error the last 6 games. Adam Dunn high in the air to center. Hairston went back, now coming in.
That's the first ball we've seen Jerry break the wrong way on since he started playing center field on a regular basis. Certainly understandable with a guy like Adam Dunn at the plate. When you see that ball come off his bat with that trajectory, you assume it's going to be hit a long way. But from the sound of the bat, Hairston started back, then came charging in. Plenty of time to make the play.
Well, this is just me, but when a guy who's 6'6", 275 pounds puts a bat on the ball, I think
back up.
Yeah, I'd run back too. Bounce to Lee. He'll get it to Perez. Derek back to the bag. 3-6-3 the hard way. And the Cubs turn the double play, so the error does not hurt. 3-2.
Smooth from the first taste. Refreshing every single time. The great taste of Bud Light.
The summer is calling, and so are the friends. Bud Light. Great taste for your great times.
Come on, you can do it. Just 30 seconds of Listerine. Think of all the germs you're killing. Listerine even kills the germs that can cause plaque and gingivitis. See? You can handle it. Germs can't. Listerine. Worth the time, every time.
There's never been a better time to talk with your doctor about Ambien. Because now you can try Ambien free. Visit Ambien.com for details.
The #1 cause of headaches? Everyday life. Want fast relief? Introducing new Bear Rapid Headache Relief. It's proven to release medicine 5 times faster than Tylenol gels. It rushes relief to your headache. New Bear Rapid Headache Relief.
Hershey is the great American chocolate bar.
Get a vintage Hershey's t-shirt. It's just one of 5 classics you can choose from. And they're all free with 15 proofs of purchase, shipping, and handling. Go to Hershey's.com for complete details.
An old crewmate in new trouble.
I've been creating people.
On the next Andromeda, Sunday at 12 Eastern on Superstation WGN. The Chicago Cubs enter into the thick of Busch Stadium. Cubs, Cardinals, Friday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
3-2 Cubs, 5th inning. They come to Wrigley Field on July 27th as the Cubs take on the Giants on Park Place Tower Day. Fans will have a chance to be lucky seat winners and receive Cubs Bucks compliments of Park Place Tower condos. Condos from the 200s are just minutes from Wrigley Field, and only a few remain. Hairston leading off for the 3rd time tonight. A double and a flyout. Pitch from Hudson. Catches the zone on a fastball. 1 strike. Wind and the pitch inside on Hairston. We got an email regarding pitch counts. You know, we'll say, for instance, Luke Hudson, 78 pitches, 45 strikes. And the question was, what about a ball that's put in play? Well, that's a strike.
Even though the pitch might not have been a strike, like that one right there, if Jerry Hairston had put that ball in play. But yes, indeed, for the purpose of pitch counts, base hits are counted as strikes.
So an intentional walk, 4 straight balls, those count.
And the ones that don't count are the 30, 40, 50 pitches that a pitcher throws in the bullpen to warm up before a start, and the 8 pitches that he throws between innings.
Hairston plunked. It's been a while since Jerry's been hit, but he has been hit a lot this year. 9th time leading the team.
Hudson working him inside the entire at bat. LaRue was set up pretty much down the middle of the plate and wanted the pitch up high, but it strayed inside, got Jerry. Cubs have the leadoff man on once again here in the 5th. Hudson has only worked past the 5th inning 1 time this year. That was his only victory, his first start of the year against Tampa Bay. He went 6 innings. Longest outing other than that was 5 innings 2 separate times.
Todd Walker shoots it into right on the ground. Hairston ends up at 3rd, and Walker with a heads-up play slides into 2nd. So Pena threw all the way through to Randa, right over the cutoff man, and that allowed Walker to get to 2nd. Todd with a 12-game hitting streak. That's pretty big. 2nd and 3rd now with no outs.
We've talked about it from time to time this season. This is one of the areas that Dusty Baker and his staff really wanted to improve upon in spring training, was base running. Take the extra base. When a team is going to overthrow the cutoff man, pull that third baseman off the bag, take the extra base.
Vern Rule is out. While we have a chance, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Get ready. Kiefer Sutherland in the critically acclaimed 24 is coming this fall to Superstation WGN. See it from the first minute.
All right, first base is open, but you have to pitch to Derek Lee, right? Nobody out. You can't load him up with no outs. So Hudson's going to go after Lee with 2 in scoring position. You know, we saw Derek in his first at bat wave at a curveball that was in a similar spot. Probably not going to get him to do it twice the way he's been locked in this year. Well, the table setters with all the silverware, plates, glasses in a perfect spot. Another curveball, and it's 2-0. And now Derek is just going to sit, no pun intended, dead red in a hitter's count.
Yeah, this is a count where you look for one specific pitch in one specific location. And you know, usually with Derek, that's a fastball from the middle of the plate in and down a little bit. But if he guesses right with Hudson, he might look out over the plate, look for a fastball outer third and try to drive it to the opposite field. But whatever it is, it has to be the pitch you're looking for. Hanging breaking ball. Of course, I don't know how it is for a guy like Derek Lee. I mean, a normal mortal hitter, you have to look for one pitch in one zone. Derek, this year, hit just about anything, anywhere, anytime.
Two-1 to Lee and fouled back again. Derek is 2 for 6 against Luke Hudson. Ryan Shackelford is up. Three and 2.
We talked about it extensively last night, but Jason LaRue behind the plate is much improved at blocking balls in the dirt. But as a runner at third base in this particular situation, you got to believe they're trying to pitch around Derek Lee, get him to chase something. You have to be heads up for that breaking ball in the dirt right here, getting away from the catcher.
Big pitch coming up, the 3-2 to Lee. Fair ball. Hairston will score. Walker going to score as well. It is a 2-run double. We'll have to reset that RBI leaderboard, because Derek Lee is now the leader. He's tied for the lead in RBIs, but he's #1 in the Triple Crown categories.
He tried to go to the breaking ball, but he left it over the heart of the plate. Derek has seen enough of those pitches now that he can pick up the rotation. He waved at the first one he saw tonight, but has been right on every one in the strike zone since then.
There you have it. And Jerry Narron coming out and takes the baseball from Luke Hudson. So Luke Hudson going just 4 innings, cannot record an out here in the 5th. So 6 of the last 7 opposing starters have gone 4 innings or less against the Cubs. Left-hander Shackelford coming on. It is 5-2 Cubs.
Sex in the City, coming all week long this fall.
Once upon a time, 4 single girlfriends all found themselves without a relationship at the exact same time.
Carrie Bradshaw.
I'm a writer.
She writes a column.
A sex column.
Woo!
My name is Samantha, and I'm a loveaholic.
Hi, Samantha. Miranda.
Miranda?
Yeah, ow!
Charlotte York. It's hard to find people who will love you no matter what. I was lucky enough to find 3 of them.
Sex in the City, all week long, premiering September 19th.
He's aggressive, he's funny, he's a character. That's what we need.
In auto racing, a small advantage is a big advantage.
He's a bit of a crybaby, yeah.
Once the green flag drops, it's every man for himself.
This is racing. Anything can happen.
It is 5-2 Cubs, and the Cubs knocking a starter out early yet again.
You know, we talked about it in the ball game last night. The Reds had to get 5 1/3 innings pitched out of their bullpen. And in a 4-game series, if that happens in the first game of the series, there's a real good chance that you're going to have to make a roster move before the end of the series. You're going to go to that bullpen, and once again tonight they're going to need 5 innings out of their bullpen. So these guys are going to be taxed. They're going to be overexposed, and it wouldn't surprise me a bit to see the Reds dip into their minor league system before the end of this series.
Well, the one thing you mentioned earlier is you see the left-hander Brian Shackelford is the Cubs came right back after the Reds got on the board first, scored 3 in the 3rd. They've tacked on 2 more here in the 5th. Derek Lee with 2 doubles. And now 2 RBIs tonight. And still nobody out here in the 5th. Ball 1 on Burnitz. Jerry Narron needed 4 relievers last night. And needed 5 1/3 innings out of his bullpen. Bounce to the right side. So Casey will step on first, and the Cubs have done a great job of moving that runner to third. Let's see, that's the 3rd time they've done it tonight. Now I got to get that runner home to continue to add on.
Well, you're right. They've done a great job of doing it, but each time it's been the right guy at the plate. Todd Walker, a left-handed hitter who can very easily roll that top hand over, hit a ground ball to the right side. Todd Hollinsworth, same idea, left-handed hitter, and Jeremy Burnitz, a left-handed hitter. It's a very easy adjustment for a lefty just to make sure you get real busy with that top hand, get the barrel of the bat out in front of home plate, and hook that ball to the right side.
So Ramirez will be intentionally walked. That was high and outside, and Hudson watching. Derek Lee, who is at 3rd, still on Hudson's record. Hudson has allowed 5 runs already.
Well, this is an easy call for Jerry Narron. Ramos Ramirez hitting 80 points higher this season against lefties. See the .361 batting average, hitting .286 against right-handers. Solid numbers both ways, but he really beats up on the lefties.
Reds have stabilized under Jerry Narron. They're 11-11 since he took over for Dave Miley on June 21st. But still, as we mentioned, in last place in the division. Pitch on the way to Hollinsworth. A strike.
Well, you could have a manager by committee with Walter Alston, Tony La Russa, Bobby Cox. Take your pick of the best managers in the game, and if you have a pitching staff like this, it's going to be hard to win.
Oh, 1 on the ground. Could be 2, 4, 6, 3. So Shackelford gets out of it with no further damage, but 2 runs on the lead double. It's 5-2 Cubs.
Do you have a dinosaur?
No.
Do you have a mummy?
No.
Do you have the space shuttle?
No.
What do you have?
Well, we have a display of the local gopher in its natural habitat.
That's not a gopher.
Yeah, it is.
Take them to a place that has it all. Fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to BWI Airport for just $84 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
It says here that a Burger King Tender Crisp chicken sandwich has 45 grams of fat. 45? This oven-roasted chicken breast sandwich at Subway restaurants, it has 5 grams of fat. This is real chicken, with fresh veggies and freshly baked bread. Subway. Eat fresh.
Cholesterol comes from two sources. It's not only from that footlong Frank, but from your Grandpa Frank. And not just from that Virginia ham, but from your Aunt Ginny, too. Your cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It also has a lot to do with family history. Ask your doctor about Vytorin. A healthy diet is important, but when it's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Vytorin treats the two sources of cholesterol, food and what your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin was proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Follow a healthy diet and ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. For the two sources of cholesterol, remember the name Vytorin. That's Vytorin.
This is America's home for super movies, Superstation WGN.
Derek Lee, 2 for 3, 2-run double in the 5th inning. And it's now 5-2. Mark Pryor looking for his 3rd win this year against the Cincinnati Reds. Jason LaRue. Strike one. Dribbler toward third, coming in. Ramirez. Good pick by D. Lee. And that's one, Bob, where if you're a third baseman, you just get it over there in a hurry and you hope your first baseman makes a pick because you don't have a lot of time. You're not trying to make a perfect throw, just get it in the vicinity.
Yeah, and your momentum is carrying you toward home plate. You see he tries to kind of round that ball off just a little bit to get some movement toward first base. But you're right, just glove it and throw it. Count on your first baseman to pick it over there if necessary.
Here's Shackelford. And this is his first career at bat. That's the other thing it does when you knock the starter out early. Opposing manager has to stick with his pitcher, and you get a situation like this where Shackelford forced to bat.
This is why sometimes when that starter gets knocked out early and you want to get multiple innings from that first reliever out of the bullpen, you'll see a manager make a double switch. In this case, Willie Mopena made the last out of the 4th inning, so you probably would bring in another outfielder, put him in the 9 spot, and put your new pitcher in the 7 spot. That way that pitcher spot won't come up probably for 2, maybe 3 innings, and you can get the multiple innings you need out of your reliever.
So his first major league at bat results in a swinging strikeout. Don't miss the Cubs take on the Pirates. Rather, the Diamondbacks Friday, July 29th at 1:20 on Kraft Foods Day at Wrigley Field. Fans have a chance to win gift packages, compliments of Kraft Foods. Kraft Foods, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs. Felipe Lopez takes a strike. Well, I would think, thinking along with Jerry Narron, comes down to Would you rather have Willie Mo-Pena stay in the game and have one at bat from a pitcher, or take Pena out and not have the pitcher bat? I'd probably leave Pena in. If I had to make that choice, I'd rather get 2 at bats out of him.
And the Reds really have a short bench to begin with. They've got a lot of young players. They've got a lot of very similar type players over there on the bench, kind of utility backup defensive infielders. Really, Jacob Cruz is the only bat on that bench that you wouldn't mind see in the lineup to get a couple of at bats in this game. But Cruz is basically at this career strictly a left-handed pinch hitting specialist.
Foul tip by Lopez to make it 2-2. Kerry Wood against Aaron Harang tomorrow night. Thursday afternoon, Greg Maddux and Eric Milton. Deep to right. Burnett's back on it over his head. One hops a fence. Lopez hustling on a 2-out double. I know we talk about it a lot, and Jeremy really didn't have a play on Lopez at second. There aren't too many right fielders who just play the angles and hustle as well as Jeremy Burnitz. I mean, he just played it perfectly out there in right.
Well, you have to know when to concede that I can no longer catch that ball in the air. Now I need to get in a good position to play the rebound off the wall and get a strong throw back into the infield. And Bernie has done that very well all year long.
Oh, we got a little goatee working. A little different look.
Well, if the lights in his bathroom at the hotel are as dim as mine, he probably couldn't see well enough to shave this morning.
An homage to Bob Brenly, possibly.
I'm sure that's what it is.
That is a fair ball off the bat of Aurelia. And Lopez is going to score, and it's now 5-3. Notice the 2 run scoring hits for the Reds have both been opposite field hits.
Well, Mark Pryor is not a guy that works the inside of the plate very often. He usually works the outer third, tries to pound that outside corner, keep the ball down. And if you know that going in from your advanced scouting reports and watching some videotape, it's probably a good approach to look to hit the ball the other way.
Sean Casey 0 for 2 tonight, now 3 for 21 against Pryor. I mentioned the pitching matchups coming up. Thursday afternoon, Greg Maddux will go into his start 6 strikeouts away from 3,000. And the other thing to note, he'll get to 3,000, but he has under 900 walks. Fergie Jenkins is the only pitcher with 3,000 strikeouts and fewer than 1,000 walks in his career. That's mighty impressive.
What's really impressive about 3,000 strikeouts is Greg Maddux has never been considered a strikeout pitcher at any point in his career. Even when he was younger and threw harder, he was a guy that pitched to contact instead of away from contact. And with this Reds ball club, 4 strikeouts on the night tonight, giving him 731, leading the major leagues in punch-outs offensively. So there's a possibility we could see some history on Thursday.
And if not Thursday, possibly next week at home against the San Francisco Giants. And that would be interesting because he got his 300th win in San Francisco.
You think they'll stop the game and have a big celebration on the field for Mad Dog? They'll go, yeah, just throw the ball over there in the dugout. I'll get it later. Big deal.
Friday night in St. Louis, Carlos Zambrano against Chris Carpenter. That'll be a fun one. We'll have it for you right here on WGN. Jerome Williams, Matt Morris on Saturday. Pryor against Jeff Suppan Sunday night. Carlos coming off a win Sunday, showing off his athletic skills at the plate and defensively.
Guys are still talking about that play he made. The thing that was the most amazing was he was able to grab his hat as he did that back somersault. His hat never hit the ground. Had it right back on his head before he stood up.
Scoreboard here telling the fans to make some noise. Casey hit by a pitch.
This curveball Mark held on to a little bit too long. Throws it down and in the dirt. Forgot it lifts his feet so high off the ground getting set in that batter's box. He had trouble getting him out of the way of that low pitch.
Showing Bill Lambier hops. This is that inning we were talking about, the fifth, and he has allowed a run tonight. He's trying to limit the damage now with Griffey at the plate. This is a tight spot here. A big time home run hitter in a home run ballpark. So here we go, 2 outs, 2 men on, and outside to Griffey on a changeup.
Cubs have been very fortunate the way this lineup has rolled over for the Reds in the first 2 games of this series. Junior led off an inning twice last night, came up another time with 1 out, nobody on base. Led off the second inning here, drew a walk, and came up with 2 outs and nobody on base in the third. So this is really the first opportunity since his first at bat of the series, and he's had to come up to the plate with some runners on base.
Mark ready for a 2-0 offering, and here it is, and it's a strike. 2-1. Blanco now the outside part of the plate. Pryor hits his target, swing and a miss, 2-2. Due to injury, Ken Griffey played just 83 games last year. This is his 88th this year. He's a comeback player of the year candidate. In fact, he could be a comeback player of the decade candidate. His last big season was his last full campaign, 2000. First year with the Reds at 40 home runs, knocked in 118. 2-2. And it's full. Two of the runners moving. He struck him out. Big strikeout for Pryor. Reds get 1, but that's it. It's 5-3 Cubs.
The smooth taste that gets things started. The refreshing taste that keeps things going. Where will you find the great taste of Bud Light? Wherever good friends get together. And wherever good times are going on and on. Bud Light. Great taste for your great times.
Think about the mountains you want to climb in the BMW X5. The corners you want to take. The hairpin turns you plan to find. Because it would be very un-BMW-like to have you thinking about brake pads, rotors, and oil changes. The BMW X5, the only SAV in its class with a standard full maintenance program. All new BMWs have full maintenance, which covers oil changes to brakes for 4 years or 50,000 miles.
We live paycheck to paycheck. We barely get done paying one bill and then another one comes in. I mean, what would we do if one of us really got sick?
Millions of hardworking Americans live without health insurance. Together RX Access can help. Sponsored by 10 top pharmaceutical companies, Together RX Access saves eligible people up to 40% on prescriptions. And it's free.
I feel like without your health, what else is there?
Call 1-800-444-4106 today.
The #1 cause of headaches? Everyday life. Want fast relief? Introducing New Bear Rapid Headache Relief. It's proven to release medicine 5 times faster than Tylenol gels. It rushes relief to your headache. New Bear Rapid Headache Relief.
Wow. Big news. Sex in the City. 7 nights a week this fall.
Cubs leading 5-3. And a jam for Pryor facing Ken Griffey. With a couple of men on and 2 outs in the 5th inning, but he got out of it. He struck out Griffey on a 3-2 pitch. Pryor pretty pumped up as Navy Perez bounces it to Joe Randall.
Ozzie Smith.
1 pitch, 1 out. 6th inning, Cubs leading 5-3. Here comes Blanco. Astros over the Pirates in the first of a doubleheader. Pittsburgh 9-3. They're underway in the second. Pirates 1, Astros nothing in the 2nd inning. Cardinals leading again early in the 3rd, 2-zip over Milwaukee at Busch Stadium. Strike on Blanco. Well, Jim Bowden, former Reds general manager and the GM of the Nationals, is trying to coax Barry Larkin out of retirement. Larkin is a national special assistant. He's a 12-time All-Star, played almost 2 decades with the Reds. As Casey makes a catch, Christian Guzman is struggling offensively. So we'll see if Barry Larkin can be called out of retirement in Washington.
I got to tell you, I love Barry Larkin as a player. He was a consummate team player during his career, but the last couple of years he was having a lot of trouble getting that ball across the infield. Didn't have a lot of throwing arm left at all, and it's been a while. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what he's been doing as far as staying in shape and competitive baseball shape, but we see players take 6 weeks in spring training to get ready to start the season, and sometimes that's not enough. That'll be interesting to see. I just hope he doesn't call me. I've got nothing left.
Ball 1 on Mark Pryor.
They said I had nothing left about halfway through my career. But I think that speaks to the kind of talent that Barry Larkin possessed at one point in his great career, that it would even be a consideration for a general manager to coax him out of retirement.
We want to keep you right here in the booth.
And I'll tell you what, we've been lucky. You know, we were having some laughs that Steve Stewart next door got his cage rattled a little bit with a foul ball. We've been lucky this year. We haven't had one close
yet. To borrow a line. 2-2 on Pryor. I also saw that Mark Cuban, who we had on the other day at Wrigley, was at the Pirates game last night. He's from Pittsburgh, and I guess he avoided the media. He's been asked a lot about possibly owning a baseball team, and Some people have taken it to mean he's going to buy this team or that team, and he said no comment last night. Could you believe that? Mark Cuban, the Dallas Mavericks owner, saying no comment. Wow. High fly ball down the right field line. A souvenir.
My favorite is always, I'm not at liberty to discuss it. They always read more into that than is really there.
Now, you've dropped that a few times just for fun over the years, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're so mean.
Just not at liberty to discuss it right now.
Pryor with the 2-out walk. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's home for sports all year round. Superstation WGN.
Bob Brenly, Len Casper from Great American Ballpark. 5-3 Cubs. Runner at first. The pitcher, Mark Pryor. Sean Casey playing behind him. Hairston, bounding ball to Lopez, backed up on it. It's over to Aurelia covering second. Inning over. 5-3 Cubs.
For years, the Honda Odyssey has been considered the best vehicle in its class. So, what did we do? We went back to the drawing board and enhanced its safety features with side curtain airbags for all 3 rows. We made it more functional and quieter than ever before. Introducing the all-new Honda Odyssey. A great idea made better.
Well, now, where's the fire, boys? Oh, fresh toasted sandwiches.
Well, get those babies home before they get cold.
Fresh toasted sandwiches from Subway restaurants.
I'm hungry. You hungry?
Sponsors of Greg Biffle and Car 16.
So you're not gonna talk? Then we're gonna talk.
Not my minutes, man.
Happy birthday, Nana. Dry cleaning, is that deductible?
Thank you for holding.
Peak hours.
Hang it up!
In a land far, far away. Hello? Department of Motor Vehicles.
Never enough minutes on your wireless plan? Come to T-Mobile and get the most whenever minutes.
More minutes. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Now get the most whenever minutes guaranteed. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile. Get more minutes.
Honey, I got that dessert you like. And look what else I got. Honey? Kids, relax. It's natural citrus Listerine. It's less intense.
Introducing less intense natural citrus Listerine. You can handle it. Germs can't.
This is America's home for super movies. Superstation WGN.
5-3 Cubs. Some of your favorite Cubs, including Ernie Banks, Michael Barrett, Billy Williams, and more, are headed to the Walt Disney World Resort December 1st through the 5th during the happiest celebration on Earth. The biggest celebration in Disney history features new attractions from Disney destinations around the globe. You'll enjoy the new magic at Disney World, plus I can't get through this. I'm sorry. We'll get through the rest of it later. I love this music going to break the last time around, so I requested it. It is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. It's 1-866-488 Cubs. Good stuff.
Was that Sly and the Family Stone?
No, it wasn't. Joe Randa, the hitter. And the pitch from Pryor. A little bit low. 1-1. Mark Pryor just over the 80 pitch mark here into the 6th inning. On the end of the bat, right back to Pryor. He'll underhand a lead.
You know, talking about pitch counts, you know, a lot of times we get so wrapped up just in the number itself. I know from talking to starting pitches over the last number of years, it's not so much the number of pitches, it's when you have to make those pitches. And in that bottom half of the 5th inning, Mark Pryor, after getting 2 quick outs, gave up the double to Lopez, a double to Aurelia, hit Casey with a pitch, and then had to work to Ken Griffey Jr., one of the best power hitters in this Reds lineup. That inning probably took more out of him than some of the other innings he's had in this ball game. He had to work harder. He had to execute every pitch in order to get out of that inning.
Adam Dunn is 0 for 6 to start this series. Reds are in jeopardy of having a losing season for what would be the 5th consecutive year. Hammered right field and over Burnett's. And in fact, the Karam went past him. Dunn with a stand-up double. Absolutely scorched by Dunn.
Dunn with that huge uppercut swing gets a lot of topspin if he doesn't square a ball up exactly perfect. This is just a screaming topspin line drive. Gets over the head of Jeremy Burnitz and short hops the wall. That causes it to ricochet back over his head. If the ball had hit the wall first, Jeremy probably would have been in pretty good position to field that ball and hold Dunn to a single, but because it hit the warning track and then the wall, it bounced back toward the infield over Bernie's head, and Dunn cruises in with a double.
Couple of righties, Belisle and Standridge for the Reds. Just thinking about Adam Dunn, we talked about his size. 6'6", 275. Says a lot about football these days, doesn't it? He was a quarterback. Was a redshirt quarterback with Texas for 1 year before devoting his full efforts to baseball. Played only 1 full season of baseball in high school. One and one the count. In fact, the Reds have a backup outfielder, Kenny Kelly, who's a former University of Miami quarterback.
Kenny Kelly doesn't look anything like Adam Dunn.
Adam Dunn could have played just about any position in football. Fouled away to the right. Kenny Kelly, 6'2", 190 pounds.
A very slender looking 190 at that. He didn't look anywhere close to 190, especially when he stood next to Adam Dunn.
Swing and a miss on the high heat from Pryor. So he gets his 6th punch out tonight.
You know, Pryor's velocity has actually gone up every inning of this ball game. He started out throwing in the high 80s. That last fastball at 94, up around the letters.
You like the ratio tonight. I don't know about you, but whenever I see Lou Piniella go after the umpires, verbally of course, it just makes me laugh. And he got into it again last night at Fenway. And the Red Sox tonight leading the Devil Rays 3-1 in the 7th. But I mean, you set him off, and he's just the one guy you don't want to mess with.
Veins start popping out in his neck. His hat gets kicked all over the field.
He had a few here with the Reds.
One time he pulled first base out of the peg and threw it out into shallow right field.
Rainbow to right. Reds done in the 6th. Just play this music the rest of the night.
The record stuck.
5-3.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and the Chicago Cubs. The new 12-ounce plastic bottle 8-pack from Pepsi, perfectly portable, fridge-friendly, car cup-sized convenience. Now that's refreshing.
Really? So, lunch? A nice salad. Oh, maybe some soup. Okay, soup, salad. Breadsticks.
It's lunch at Olive Garden, featuring our homemade soups, our garden fresh salad, and warm breadsticks. All you want for just $5.95.
Air freshener too strong? New metered release Aerometrics for a long-lasting fragrance that's never out of control.
One part of this concept car is already on the road. Michelin MX tires. Chosen by more luxury car makers to enhance the performance of their cars. Michelin, a better way forward.
Becker makes a new old friend.
Someone has been working out.
I don't want to be with you.
Next Becker.
Tonight at 11 Eastern on WGN.
It is 5-3 Cubs after 6. Let's step aside, see what's coming up on WGN.
These women have it all. They're successful, funny, smart. But there's something missing.
Men. I'm so over men.
See it from the beginning. Sex in the City. New this fall on Superstation WGN.
Great to have you with us tonight. They had their signs up during the commercial break and put them on camera. But hey, the magic of videotape.
There you go. Got to learn the timing of this industry.
Still didn't get any of it except for the letters WGN. But here's Jason Standridge.
Standridge pitched an inning and a third in the ball game in relief of Brandon Clausen last night.
Flared into center for Walker, his second hit tonight.
Standridge gave up 2 hits, did not allow a run, didn't walk a batter, struck out 1. But Todd Walker promptly greets him with a base hit into left center.
Seventh hit for the Cubs tonight. They had 18 in the opener last night. The Cubs had pretty interesting. They only had 1 inning where they didn't have a hit last night. They had 4 innings of 3 hits. A couple of more 2-hit innings. The day before that, they had 15 hits against the Pirates.
You know, Dusty Baker would love nothing more than to see his offense bust loose and put a crooked number up on that board. At least give you the option of taking Mark Pryor out of this ball game. He's up over the 90 pitch mark. Hot, steamy night here in Cincinnati. He'd love to just go ahead and turn that ball over to the bullpen, let them close this thing out. But in order to do that, you need to add on.
To lead, Owen away and fired down to first. Walker back in time. Now, Todd had a pretty good look at that one because Derek Lee is a right-handed hitter. If there were a lefty up there, LaRue might have been able to sneak a throw in there a little bit easier.
Of course, a lefty might have got hit by this ball.
Yeah.
Backhanded pick on a fastball in the dirt. As long as you're moving that direction, if you have a good handle on it, go ahead and make a throw down there. Maybe you catch that runner napping at first base, but Walker had a real good look at it, as you said.
Kick and a 3-0 taken all the way. Derek Lee, acquired from Florida November 25th, 2003 for Aesop Choi. And Marlins acquired pitcher Mike Nannini later on to complete that deal. What a trade it has been for the Cubs. Through the hole into left. Derek 3 for 4. Walker was running with the pitch.
I think that was a hit and run. I mean, you could see a little bit of confusion on Derek Lee's face as he looked down towards Sarge and Todd Walker at first base before he got back in the batter's box. And Walker was running on the pitch, but not as if he was going to steal the base. He was looking back to home plate the whole time. And Derek Lee just jerks one through the left side of the infield. How often do you see that? Guy leading the world in batting average and home runs, tied for first in RBIs, and you use him to play hit and run.
22nd multi-hit game. 10th 3-hit performance for Lee. Bounce back to the pitcher. He'll get an out at second. Relay to first in time. 1-6-3 on the double play. So Walker's at third, but there are 2 outs. By the way, just to correct myself, Derek Lee with his 36th multi-hit game, tied for the National League lead. Again, if you'd like to check out the blog, there's the address, WGNTV.com/baseball blog, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. In there against Ramirez, 0-1. With the 2 doubles tonight, Derek now with 62 extra base hits, leading the National League. The guy who's in second is Aramis, now with 49. Double and a home run tonight. One and 2 on Ramirez. Busted bat, gets past the pitcher, charged by Aurelia. He'll barehand and throw to Casey. So the Cubs do not get a run in the 7th. Stretch time from Cincy. It's 5-3.
There's never been a better time to talk with your doctor about Ambien, because now you can try Ambien free. Visit Ambien.com for details.
We didn't start with an economy car or a minivan or a pickup truck. We build them from scratch. The BMW 5 Series, the ultimate driving machine.
So you're not gonna talk? Then we're gonna talk.
Not my minutes, man.
Happy birthday, Nana. Dry cleaning, is that deductible?
Thank you for holding.
He cowers.
Hang it up!
In a land far, far away. Department of Motor Vehicles.
Never enough minutes on your wireless plan? Come to T-Mobile and get the most whenever minutes.
More minutes. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Now get the most whenever minutes guaranteed. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile. Get more minutes.
Mr. Fogel, no denying your body's changed over the years. Did you ingest anything that helped create your new physique?
Yes. Usually a 6-inch turkey breast sub for lunch and a foot-long veggie delight for dinner.
What is this?
We're going to need more evidence.
So, here's the one you saw on Cars.com. It's silver with alloy wheels and a bed liner.
Give me 5, man. Up high. Can you bird it? Can you do the bird? Can you do the bird?
Find the right car for you. Cars.com. Book the date. Sex in the City, 7 nights a week this fall.
5-3, Cubs with the lead, bottom 7. Ray Olmedo, a pinch hitter, to lead it off. He'll be followed by Lopez and Aurelia. Against Mark Pryor, he's given up 3 runs on 6 hits through 6. On the way, and Olmedo late on a fastball. Mentioned the Reds right now 16 under 500, and if they don't have a big second half, it'll be their 5th consecutive losing campaign. It'll be the first time they've had a stretch of 5 straight losing campaigns since they had 11 in a row from 45 to 55.
First pitch from Mark Pryor looked like Olmedo took a little peek back to see where Henry Blanco was set up. No peek this time. Just watching Mark Pryor. It's a very dangerous proposition. Occasionally get away with it. Take a quick look out of the corner of your eye and see where that catcher is set up and guess accordingly on what pitch you think is coming, but better not get caught. Saw double-barreled activity in that Cubs bullpen. That was the 97th pitch of the game for Mark Pryor.
Ullman and Wirtz are working in that bullpen. Olmedo walks. Time to have a ball with the Illinois Lottery. Mark Pryor with 6 strikeouts tonight. Well, interesting. He's used a pretty wide assortment of pitches. A fastball, a curveball in different spots. Thanks to our friends at the Illinois Lottery.
Throwing some good changeups in this game. He's really had it all working, and as I mentioned in the last half inning, his velocity seems to have crept up as this game has gone on. He probably has gotten a little looser out there on the mound. Can extend through the ball a little bit better at the end of his delivery. But certainly with the conditions here, hot and humid, and although not nearly as hot as it seemed last night, I'm sure he's getting very nearly at the end of the road here.
I don't know if you can put a percentage on it, but you saw Henry immediately after that first pitch missed head out to the mound. How often will a catcher head out on his own? How often will the dugout say, hey, head out?
Well, most of the time, unless it's a situation where you're stalling for time so your bullpen can get loose, the catcher recognizes immediately. Mark Pryor was frustrated with himself for walking the leadoff hitter, missed his spot by a wide margin a couple times, and then missed with the first pitch here to Felipe Lopez. So Henry knows right away that I need to go out there and calm him down, give him a little bit of a breather. It's late in the ball game. He's thrown a lot of pitches. And then Larry Rothschild came out to join the conversation. When your bullpen is not quite ready, if you just get the guys up and they're just starting to throw and the inning is starting to spiral out of control, that's when you'll usually see the bench indicate to the catcher, go out there and talk to him just to stall for some time. And this is another thing you can do to stall for time. If your bullpen is not ready to come into the ballgame, you call some pickoff attempts from the bench. And Mark Pryor throw there 2 or 3 times. That gives those relievers down in the bullpen 5 or 6 or 7 more pitches to get ready to come into a ballgame. Pitchers will have some kind of an indicator usually as to when they're getting fatigued out there on the mound. Some guys will take a little bit longer between pitches. They'll go to the rosin bag a little more. They'll walk off the back of the mound and clean their cleats on that little brush they have behind the mound. See Mark kind of tumbling off the mound to the first base side after his delivery there. Every pitcher has something that they do that is a tip off to a pitching coach that maybe he's getting close to the end. Because if you go out there and ask him, he'll say, I feel fine. So you have to trust your eyes and what you see rather than what you hear from a pitcher.
Swing and a miss and a strikeout.
Another good breaking ball down and into the left-handed hitting Lopez. One of the few bad swings we've seen him take in this series. He has looked really locked in up there at the plate.
Olmedo, the runner at first with 1 out. Here's a pitch to Aurelia. Awkward looking swing, strike 1. Remember, Aurelia took a called third in his first 2 at bats. He doubled the other way for an RBI in the 5th inning.
First pitch curveball to a good first pitch fastball hitter. Aurelia couldn't hold up his swing.
Aurelia played for Dusty Baker in San Francisco. He was a shortstop then. Fly to deep right. This one slicing into the corner, and Burnett's banging into the wall. And a foul ball, and he made the catch. No, he didn't. I guess they called it a foul ball. We lost Jeremy briefly down in the corner as he fired it back in. He thought it might have been fair, but it was foul. Boy, had it in his glove, just popped out. But luckily a foul ball.
He just hit him in a bad spot of that big outfielder's glove. Like to catch it in the middle or up toward the end of the webbing. That ball will go into that outfielder's glove and stick in there. But when the ball hits around the heel of the glove, it tends to rattle around.
Dusty's asking, did he make the catch? Now you have to squeeze it, you have to show it, basically.
He may be arguing that Jeremy Burnett's touched the ball in fair territory before crashing into the wall, at which case it would be a force play at second base. All and right. You get another out. Nathan and Todd Walker more than willing to offer their opinion. First base umpire Randy Marsh would have had the best look as to where Jeremy Burnett's first touched that ball. It's not where Jeremy's body is, it's where the ball was when it was touched by the fielder. More than likely the second best look would have been the home plate umpire Sam Holbrook, since he's also looking right down that first base line.
The only thing here is if they called it fair, what's the call? Once you call a foul, everybody stops. All right, I think they're talking about whether or not he may have caught it. It's being explained that he had it in his glove, hit the fence, and then it dropped out. And I've seen these situations before as far as catches. It's not like 2 steps and it's a catch like football. You have to actually catch it and show it, basically. It was in his glove briefly.
Really, I think the question was, once again, was the ball in fair territory? If it was, that would have been a force play there at second base. But Nafee never touched the bag because Randy Marsh immediately turned around and called foul ball. So
we'll find out afterwards.
Everybody stopped at that point. We'll talk to Dusty and see exactly what was going on there.
At any rate, it was a foul and 2 strikes on Aurelia. it's almost like once you blow a play dead in football, you can't continue it. So as Aurelia chases one and strikes out. So Pryor with 2 Ks here in the inning. He'll face Casey. The runner at first and 2 outs.
And that little bit of a delay to argue that call down in the right field corner may have worked to Mark Pryor's benefit here this inning. Give it just a little extra time before he had to get back up on the mound and go after Rich Aurelia. And hopefully he'll be able to work his way out of this inning after giving up the leadoff walk to Almeida, the pinch hitter.
Strike on Casey. I will say this. I wouldn't mind at some point seeing some sort of communication between the crew chief and the press box, where when you have a situation like that, they can communicate what the dispute is. Base hit, and Almeida will stop at second. 2 men on with 2 outs, and Griffey coming up. We'll see what the Cubs are going to do here. Pryor struck out Griffey with runners at first and second and 2 outs in the 5th inning.
Ken Griffey Jr. 0 for 3 lifetime against Will Oman with a strikeout. That would figure to be the move here with the left-handed hitting Ken Griffey Jr. coming to the plate.
So the manager's out, and he'll take the ball from Mark Pryor. He'll lead with a 2-run lead, 2 men on. We'll be back to Cincinnati.
As you know, it's wedding season, so we all need to be on the lookout for guys like this.
We are going to have tons and tons of opportunities to meet gorgeous ladies that are so aroused by the thought of marriage that they'll throw their inhibitions to the wind.
Wedding crashers?
You know how they say we only use 10% of our brains? I think we only use 10% of our hearts.
What do they want? To drink Budweiser and meet beautiful women like us?
So what should we do?
What we girls always do. Play along.
Love where your head's at.
Ooh. Oh.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines, the airline committed to serving Chicago. From Midway Airport to cities in the West for just $84 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
The new 12-ounce plastic bottle 8-pack from Pepsi, perfectly portable, fridge-friendly, car cup size convenience. Now that's refreshing.
109 pitches for Mark Pryor. So all he can do now is sit and watch the rest of the festivities. Will Oman has retired Ken Griffey each of the 3 times he has faced him, including once this year, and it was a strikeout. First and second, 2 down. Here he comes. 1 ball, no strikes. Slow ground ball to Walker. Shovel it over. to Derek Lee. Good job by Will Ullman. 2 pitches. He gets Griffey to ground out. All smiles from the starter.
Hey, what do you got? Desk jobs in Miami. You know my grandma lives in Boca? Say hi to her for me. Okay.
Take delivery of a 3310S for $399.99 or get a 5310S with an Intel Pentium 4 processor. Enjoy faster speeds and improved performance. Just $599.99 and get free shipping.
Well, now, where's the fire, boys? Oh, fresh toasted sandwiches. Well, get those babies home before they get cold.
Fresh toasted sandwiches from Subway restaurants.
I'm hungry. You hungry?
Sponsors of Greg Biffle and Car 16.
The #1 cause of headaches? Everyday life. Want fast relief? Introducing new Bear Rapid Headache Relief. It's proven to release medicine 5 times faster than Tylenol gels. It rushes relief to your headache. New Bear Rapid Headache Relief.
Time now for our Budweiser Game Time Fan Cam from Cincinnati. Yeah, Bohemian Like You, little Dandy Warhols for you. They'll be part of Lollapalooza along with Weezer, Cake, Liz Phair, Widespread Panic, Billy Idol, and many more. More than 60 bands on 5 stages over 2 days. July 23rd and 24th coming up at Grant Park. Brought to you by Budweiser Select. Be selective. We used to be friends. Another Dandy's hit. Mark Pryor, I think, laughing about the shovel pass from Todd Walker over to Derek Lee to end the 7th inning. Whatever works, right?
Let's get it done.
Matt Belisle, the new pitcher, outside to Hollingsworth. Still 5-3 Cubbies.
Pitcher spot 4 away. There's a possibility we could see Jody Garrett make his Cubs debut here as a pinch hitter for that pitcher spot.
Matt Belisle made a start against the Cubs on April 18th here in this ballpark with 3 innings, gave up 5 runs on 7 hits, 4 home runs. He allowed 3 homers in the 1st inning. That night got a no decision. There's the newest Cub, Jody Garrett. Chop to Aurelia.
That little shovel pass from Todd Walker to end that last half inning. It's a little far to make a backhanded shovel toss, and Mark Pryor says, geez, you're killing me out there. Those are my runs on base.
So Pryor with 6 2/3, allowed 3 runs on 7 hits. Quality start tonight. Walked 2, struck out 8. Bounced past Branda. Leafy with his first hit. 1 for 4.
It's an old-fashioned AstroTurf hit right there. Drawing the third baseman in, protecting against the bunt, and then just slap it over his head. High bouncer.
By the way, Mark Pryor now has made 14 starts And he has surrendered more than 3 earned runs just twice. Those 2 games we were talking about with those big 5th innings. That's been it. And Jody Garrett ready to make his Cubs debut. Heard from Jody before the game. Catch more of that interview with Dan Roan with sports on the WGN News right after the ball game.
Garrett has played 6 ball games in this ballpark in interleague play when he was a member of the Indians. .350 batting average. I think everybody that ever stepped in the batter's box in this ballpark hit .350.
Hard throwing Roberto Novoa. Cubs are trying to improve to 5-2 against the Reds. And trying to take care of business against teams that are beneath them in the division. Well, they're 8-3 against the Pirates. Brewers have been very tough. In fact, the Cubs are just 6-7 against Milwaukee. 3-3 against Houston. And they've only played the Cardinals twice. They're 1-1.
Cubs really need to stay out of the double play right here and get that pitcher spot up to the plate here in the 8th inning so Dusty can make the moves necessary with his bullpen. And we've seen Novoa warming up down there. He's going to start the bottom half of the 8th inning, but should he get in any trouble with an out or 2 in the inning, Dusty may want to go to his closer. And if you can get that pitcher spot in the lineup out of the way, you don't have to worry about making a double switch. Changes your strategy. Sometimes you just want to get the guy to the plate. Obviously you hope something good happens when he gets up there, but you just want to make sure to get him to the plate this inning.
High bouncer, foul.
Former teammate of mine, former teammate of Dusty's, Reggie Smith, former Dodger great, came over to the Giants at the end of his career, and only half in jest, he used to stay in situations like this. If you feel like you're going to hit into a double play, strike out. And it really does, you know, make some sense, but I don't know how you feel you're going to hit into a double play. But I heard that more than a few times during the course of the season.
Lined into right. So Garrett will come up with 2 men on after the Blancos single back-to-back hits.
For
hits.
Chicago, number 9, Jody Garrett, hitting for Will Holman.
10 hits the last 8 of the last 9 now for the Cubs as Jody Garrett makes his Cub debut. Born in Elmhurst, again attended Stanford. Hit 22 home runs in his rookie year of 2003. Just 11 last year. He has 1 this year in 44 games for the Indians. But again, just over a month to start the season, recovering from a right knee surgery late last year.
You can see that brace underneath his pants on that right leg.
Yeah, you were talking to him, and you know he's getting back. Not quite 100%. You wouldn't expect that this soon after surgery.
He said he felt, depending on the day, he said he felt somewhere between 75 and 85%. For a guy to hit 277 with the Indians on a leg that is only 3/4 effective, that's pretty impressive.
inside again.
You can see Garrett very still in that batter's box. Not a lot of movement. Just drops his hands down into a good hitting slot as he strides toward the pitcher.
Six feet, 190 pounds. Hands held high. Asked him if he knew Tiger Woods. He said no. But he started at Stanford as Tiger Woods was finishing up. He says, I know people who know Tiger. I think Tiger's back. Officially. Winning the British. The hole, and a good play by Randa to cut it off, but the throw is high. Aurelia off the base. Everybody's safe. Bases loaded. Error on Randa.
A rare throwing error for Joe Randa. He goes to his left to knock this ball down in the hole and then just throws high to Rich Aurelia. Has to come off the bag. Henry's able to slide underneath. Randa's made 6 errors on the season. We've seen 2 of them. Very rare that he ever makes a bad throw. Now, there was a time early in Jody Garrett's career that he was a base stealing threat, and he may be again someday, but not until he fully rehabs that right knee.
Bases full. Jerry Hairston did his first career grand slam over the weekend against the Pirates. Yeah, Jody Garrett's first year as a pro, he stole 25. Last year had 13 steals with the Indians. Reds want a double play. Fastball for a strike.
Well, if you feel like you're going to hit into a double play, strike out. It seemed to make sense at the time, you know, when he said it. Yeah, of course, I know that. Wait a minute, what did he say?
And if you hit into a double play, would he say, I told you?
I told you not to do that. That fan's getting into it now.
Crowd was rather tepid to start it, but yeah, they're into it here late. Swing and a miss. And what tends to happen is when the Cubs fans on the road get into it, it really gets the home fans going. Kick and the 0-2 pitch.
Bilal got away with a hanging breaking ball right there, an 0-2 pitch that just stayed right up in the eyes of Jerry Hairston. Especially with only 1 out in the inning. This is the kind of pitch that you usually at least get into the outfield. That's a hanging curveball. Jerry just gets underneath it a little bit.
Another 0-2. Hairston may have gotten a break. I don't know if the home plate umpire was crossed up or not, but it was very close.
Boy, LaRue does a nice job. Watch him get around this ball and push it back toward the middle of the plate as he's catching it. Makes it look a little better than it really was. The Reds really wanted that pitch.
See if Hairston can take advantage. That time he got him. Can't take 2 pitches that good, and Hairston called out.
Very similar to the pitch before. And LaRue does the same thing, pushes it back toward that outside corner, and this time they do get the call. Well, he didn't hit into a double play. Gives Todd Walker an opportunity here with 2 outs, bases loaded.
Indeed. Good job by Todd just to hold the bat. Say, look, I didn't go around.
The former Cub Mark Grace was one of the best I ever saw at holding a check swing, because he would kind of walk into it. Instead of trying to snap the bat back, he would bring his back shoulder forward to make it look like the bat had not crossed the front of the plate.
Perez, the runner at third, Blanco's at second, and Jody Garrett, newly acquired, at first. Bounced to Aurelia. Take the short out at second. Cubs leave them loaded. They're up 5-3 late here in Cincinnati.
Hey, baby, I'm running late. I'll see you there.
You got it. Hey, where's the missus? She's late. She's late? Late? Yeah, late. Hey, everybody! Lisa and Big Daddy are expected. Somebody get this man a Bud Light. Well, Big Daddy is thirsty.
I hope it ain't ugly. Anything for the smooth taste of Bud Light. Great taste for your great times.
Can I have a word with you?
The Honda Odyssey has long been called the best vehicle in its class. All the more reason to go back to the drawing board and make it more powerful with an advanced 255 horsepower V6 engine. More spacious with room for 8, and more intelligent than ever before. Introducing the all-new Honda Odyssey. A great idea made better.
It says here that a Burger King Tender Crisp chicken sandwich has 45 grams of fat. 45? This oven roasted chicken breast sandwich at Subway restaurants, it has 5 grams of fat. This is real chicken with fresh veggies and freshly baked bread. Subway, eat fresh.
This is America's home for super comedy. Superstation WGN.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a break, give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Get a vintage Kit Kat t-shirt. It's just one of 5 classics you can choose from. And they're all free with 15 proofs of purchase, shipping, and handling.
That chocolate crispy taste gonna make your day. That's why wherever you go, you hear the people say, give me a break, give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Go to Hershey's.com for complete details.
Well, it's 5-3 Cubs. The Cubs have had chances to get a lot more tonight, and hopefully the bullpen can hold the Reds down the final 2 innings.
Yeah, they're going to have their work cut out for them. Devoe's got to work through the bottom part of this order, but then Ryan Dempster, more than likely in the 9th, is going to have to roll back around to the top of the order. It's not going to be easy, and the Cubs hopefully won't regret the opportunities that they've had in this game to push across a couple of add-on runs.
Berto retired. All 3 faced in the 9th inning last night. Side on Joe Randa. Of course, any base runner brings a tying run to the plate. This is a tough part of the order, even though it's 5, 6, and 7. Adam Dunn and then Willie Mulcahy following Randa. Skied to right, fairly deep. Burnitz is there, and that's the first out. The Cubs' road record right at 500, 23-23. So one trip you think about, the 6-1 trip to Southern California. That is so tough to do. They won 6 out of 7 against the Dodgers and the Padres. There's the closer, Ryan Dempster. Cubs have also won 4 straight on the road, starting with that sweep at Florida. Former Cub David Weathers. Somebody asked him, I think it was in Boston, David Weathers had like a scoreless inning, and afterwards said, you know, you auditioning, whatever. He said, I've been around so long. It's been 9 teams. He said, every time I pitch, I'm auditioning.
If you don't know about David Weathers by now, one more outing isn't going to change your mind one way or the other.
Pena on deck. Three and 2 on done. Wind and the payoff pitch, and Dunn strikes out. And that was not a very strong cut at that pitch. Like he wanted to take it, but then realized he better offer at it. 95 from Novoa.
The 99th strikeout on the season for Adam Dunn. A lot of those have been called third strikes. Boy, that is about as ugly a swing as you will see a big 6'6", 275-pound power hitter take right there.
One and nothing on Pena. When you think about the ebb and the flow of a season and constant changing of the roster, the Cubs have gone through injuries. You just think about the roster right now and how much it's changed since opening day. I mean, Roberto Novoa is pitching as a setup guy here in the 8th inning. Ground ball to Walker. Novoa getting the job done. A 1-2-3. 8th inning. Still 5-3 Cubs.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Non-stop service to 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Need a break from Chicago? Fly nonstop to all these cities on Southwest Airlines, the airline committed to serving Chicago.
You are now free to move about the country.
Come on, you can do it. Just 30 seconds of Listerine. Think of all the germs you're killing. Listerine even kills the germs that can cause plaque and gingivitis. See? You can handle it. Germs can't. Listerine. Worth the time, every time.
There it is. The one from Cars.com.
So do you take them everywhere?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I hired them for the day. Big moment, you know?
Find the right car for you. Cars.com.
Honey, I got that dessert you like, and look what else I got. Honey? Kids, relax. It's natural citrus Listerine. It's less intense.
Introducing less intense natural citrus Listerine. You can handle it. Germs can't.
Mr. Fogel, no denying your body's changed over the years. Did you ingest anything that helped create your new physique?
Yes. Usually a 6-inch turkey breast sub for lunch and a foot-long veggie delight for dinner.
What is this?
We're going to need more evidence.
An old crewmate in new trouble.
I've been creating people.
On the next Andromeda. Sunday at 12 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Roberto Naval with a perfect 8th inning, so we're into the 9th. It's 5-3. Big series for this trio. Lee, Walker, Ramirez, 14 combined hits, 6 home runs, and 12 RBIs in the first 2 games of this series. Jacob Cruz comes into the game to play right in a double switch. David Weathers is the new pitcher.
Stormy Weathers, his name's been kicked around in some trade rumors. A veteran relief pitcher, used to pitching in tough situations late in the ball game.
Derek Lee line to deep left, and Dunn makes a catch. Let's pause briefly for station ID.
This is America's home for sports all year round. Superstation WGN.
Stay tuned after the ball game. The WGN News. Just thinking about the chameleon-like quality of the roster, and you know a lot of teams go through this, but you go back to opening day, and the right-handers in the Cubs bullpen. There's only one guy left. Michael Wirtz. He had LaTroy Hawkins, Chad Fox, John Lester, Todd Wellemeyer. Fox injured, Hawkins elsewhere. Lester and Wellemeyer are in the minor leagues. He had Corey Patterson as a leadoff hitter. He had Nomar batting 3rd. Derek Lee hit 6th on opening day.
It seems rather odd at this point in the season, doesn't it?
Two on the way, and Burnitz fouls it off.
It's all part of the game of baseball. You know that roster roulette is going to happen once you break camp and spring training. Very rarely will you have that same group of guys together for any extended period of time. I thought it was remarkable. I believe it was in 2003 the Seattle Mariners went the entire season with only 5 starting pitchers. That's remarkable in and of itself.
The Cardinals pretty much have been healthy. I think Matt Morris got off to a late start this year, but their rotation has been intact. Yeah, that helps a lot. Yankees have used 12 starting pitchers. The Cubs have used 10.
The difference is the Yankees may use 12 more before the end of the season.
Jeremy walks for the 2nd time tonight. Our producer of Cubs baseball here on WGN, Pete Thomas. Skip Fillmore Ellison is our director. Our associate producer, Mark Brady. The executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Borwald. Thanks as well to our stage manager in the booth, Audrey Whitley. Our crew here in Cincinnati. Our studio coordinator back at WGN, PJ Crucial. Aramis crushes one. Way out of here. That is his 2nd tonight. What a rocket. Two homers, 5 RBIs.
promise. He just doesn't hit very many cheap home runs. Oh, ball down and out over the plate where he can really extend his arms. Way back there. Nice catch.
He has 69 RBIs. On a nice catch out there. 400 plus feet away.
Obviously a Reds fan because he threw the ball back in all the way to second base. Looked like the pitchers out there in the Reds bullpen were going to give him another ball to replace it.
434 feet.
Ooh. Weathers appears to have injured himself somehow. Trainer making his way out there along with Jerry Nair, the manager. Whatever it is, it's enough to get him out of this ball game.
Seven, 3 Cubs. We'll take a break and we'll be back in a moment.
Now, here's another Sex and the City quickie. You're a model. Look how tall I am. Shoes were my idea. Oh.
I gotta get out there. Go, model. Wait till you see our gal.
Really?
Sex and the City all week long this fall.
What do you do when you've had the best vehicle in its class for the past 6 years? You go back to the drawing board. You make it more powerful yet more fuel efficient. You give it enhanced safety features with run-flat tires. You make it more comfortable and more ingenious than ever before. Introducing the all-new Honda Odyssey. A great idea, made better.
Excuse me. You got any more Sierra Mist? You're out. Oh, we got something in the back room. You gonna go get it? I don't feel like going back there. Is there anything I can do to... Would you dance for it? I'm not gonna dance for it. All right. I was just kidding. We're out of Sierra Mist. Sorry.
The new 12-ounce plastic bottle 8-pack from Pepsi, perfectly portable, fridge-friendly, car cup-sized convenience. Now that's refreshing.
But obviously Randy Kiesler was not loose, so he'll have as much time as he needs to get ready. David Weathers leaving due to some sort of injury. And we've added up the numbers, and Derek Lee and Aramis Ramirez wouldn't mind playing the Cincinnati Reds about 50 times this year because they have combined for 12 home runs and 29 RBIs. This is just the 7th game against the Reds. Incredible. Again, Ramirez keeps climbing the charts in the National League in the home run and RBI categories. Ramirez now at 24 home runs and 69 RBIs. And he's also hitting .310, so he could be in the top 10 in batting average. You open up the paper tomorrow, and with 24 home runs, I guess he might be tied for 4th. That's the best he could hope for at this point. And in the top 7 or 8 in RBIs.
Kiesler continues to take his warm-up tosses. He pitched a couple innings last night as well. One of the most effective pitchers that Jerry Nair ran out there for the Reds. He only gave up 1 base hit. Didn't allow a run to score in his 2 innings of work.
You know, we talked about Gene Clines, and when the Cubs were going through their massive struggles, during that losing streak, swinging at a lot of pitches early in the count. I talked to him recently about it. He says, sometimes it just takes 2 or 3 guys to have good approaches, and it just kind of builds that momentum for everybody else in the lineup. And the quality of the at-bats just changed considerably for the better the last now 9 games. And hey, the hitting coach is right out front when the offense struggles, so give him a lot of credit for all the hours and hard work he's put in.
And really, I don't think anything about Gene Klein's philosophy of hitting has changed. Early in the season, when the guys were swinging at early pitches and chasing a lot of bad balls, we heard Gene Klein's and Dusty Baker say on numerous occasions, we talk, we tell them, we go over the videotape, we go over the scouting reports, but the players themselves walking up in that batter's box have to make up their mind that they're going to be more patient, make sure they get a good pitch to hit. And until the players made up their minds, that's what they needed to do, not as an individual, but as a team. That's really when the offense started to take off.
Two big insurance runs already here in the ninth. The 1-1 count on Hollingsworth. The next pitch, he went around, according to Jim Wolf, to make it 1-2. That time as well. Started the at bat against a right-hander, finished it against a tough lefty.
So with a steady diet of breaking balls after coming in for David Weathers, and Holly just cannot hold up. From his power side, watch out.
In 2002, Randy Kiesler went on the disabled list after he was bitten on the left pinky by a pygmy rattlesnake while he was cleaning a flower bed in the backyard at his home in Tampa. It's a true story. Spent 5 days in the hospital, and actually at one point worried he might lose his finger, and I guess he still has the fang prints on his hand.
Come on.
Don't make this stuff up. You like that one, huh? 7-3.
Jeez.
Superstation WGN is bringing down the house. At 4, laugh out loud with America's funniest home videos. And at 5, drop in on America's favorite family. Weekdays aren't just very funny, they're super funny on Superstation WGN.
That's not tough enough to stop Athlete's foot. Hit that with boom. Tough actin Tinactin. Tinactin's the only one proven to prevent Athlete's foot. Lamisil can't say that. Hit boom. Tough actin Tinactin.
The BMW 5 Series with active steering. It handles so well, it's like riding on rails. All new BMWs have full maintenance, which covers oil changes to brakes for 4 years or 50,000 miles.
Well, now, where's the fire, boys? Oh, fresh toasted sandwiches. Well, get those babies home before they get cold.
Fresh toasted sandwiches from Subway restaurants.
I'm hungry. You hungry?
Sponsors of Greg Biffle and Car 16.
There's never been a better time to talk with your doctor about Ambien. Because now you can try Ambien free. Visit Ambien.com for details.
Cubs trying to win the first 2 of this series. They won 3 of 4 against the Pirates to start the second half. So the All-Star break did not interrupt their momentum after that sweep of Florida. Going into the break, 7-3, bottom of the 9th. Ryan Dempster in a non-save situation facing the Reds catcher Jason LaRue. David Weathers had to leave with a lower back strain in the top of the 9th. You talked about the 4-game series, the fact that Jerry Narron has already had to use his bullpen a lot. You add to the mix the lower back strain, and Weathers will be reevaluated tomorrow. And you'll definitely see the Reds making a move to help out that bullpen. 1 out as LaRue flies out.
You see a lot of teams do that in anticipation when you go into Colorado. You know you're going to have to use a lot of bullpen when you go to Coors Field, and a lot of teams will drop a position player, add an extra pitcher going into Coors Field for a series. But also you see it happen in a 4-game series when your starters get blown out early in the first 2 games.
Because the thing is, even if Weathers becomes a day-to-day type of situation, well, you can't go 3 days without that extra arm in the bullpen.
So far we have not seen Kent Merker in this series, but every other relief pitcher for the Reds has pitched at least once, and in most cases both days of this series.
There's a former Cub on the left. Dempster, a former Cincinnati Red. Base runner. In the news coming up following the ball game from Cincinnati. I have to tell you how important it is for Ryan Dempster to have a fairly clean inning. Because after Lopez, you have Aurelia and Casey. You don't want to get to Ken Griffey with any possibility to tie the ball game.
Well, and those guys have had some success against Ryan Dempster in his career. Of course, not the same Ryan Dempster that's out there on the mound right now. But nonetheless, Rich Aurelia, a 400 lifetime hitter against Dempster. Casey, a 412 hitter. Ken Griffey Jr. 357.
Ryan has worked just once here in the second half. This is his second appearance in quite some time. And it's his first game since Thursday. This one will make the seats down the left field line. Brewers hanging in St. Louis. They're trailing, but it's 4-3 Cardinals in the 7th. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Dempster. 2 away here in the 9th. But Rich Aurelia is 1 for 4, an RBI double, and 3 strikeouts.
Like a split finger fastball. It just dive bombed down low and away from Lopez. That's another thing about a 4-game series. You're going to see these hitters so many times that by the end of the 4-game series, you're going to have a pretty good idea of where you can attack them. Lopez swung the bat extremely well in the ball game last night. The Cubs have been able to keep him in check for the most part tonight. Only that double in the 5th inning when he came around to score on Rich Aurelia's double. But other than that, they've held Lopez in check.
$24,644 in the ballpark. Dribble to Dempster. And the Cubs win 7-3. Well, they were down 2-0 early.